Hey guys, እንዴት ናችሁ? ደህና ናችሁ? ይሄ ቡና ባንተን ነው ከፌቨን ዘውዱ ጋር ተከታተሉ። ዛሬ ሶስት እንግዳ ዛሬ ፉል ሃውስ እና ጓደኞችን ይዤላችሁ ነው የመጣሁት። ላይክ እህቶቼ ይቀለኛል ሰው እህቶችን ይዤላችሁ ነው የመጣሁት። እስቲ ራሳችሁን አስተዋውቁ። አሁን እኔስ ጨስጨስ ይላል።
ሰላም፣ ስሜ ፌቨን አስፋው እባላለሁ።
አይ እኔ ደግሞ ዮርዳኖስ አስፋው እባላለሁ።
እኔ ደግሞ ሃሌሉያ አንዱ አለም እባላለሁ።
ያ ሶ ጋይስ ፌቨን እና ዮርዲ ህታማቾች ናቸው። really so the family tree. So these two sisters and then Hadley is their cousin. So we're just going to play a little game, like a little game. So we're going to pick a name out of this and then whoever's names come up, you have to say something that you would like everyone to know about this person. It doesn't need to be negative. Something nice.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh, Yordi madam. Okay.
Wait, do you not say the name first?
Yes.
What are the rules?
Yeah.
She's saying it, then we guess who she's talking about.
So I got Feather Zewdu.
No,
Am I not supposed to?
No, you're right. No, she was saying, let's say that about the description and we guess who you're talking about.
Oh,
but it's fine.
my bad.
Okay, you can say what.
Shall I go again?
No.
Okay. Feather loves injera. Feather cannot live without injera. That's the one thing I want everyone to know about Feather.
The viewers might not know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
sure.
Okay. She's really hardworking. Yordi. Oh, yeah. She really works hard.
School-wise.
Yeah. Like everything, really.
Yeah.
Anything she commits to.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Oh.
That's why I was trying to give it back.
Thank you. Sorry, I mean, I already said mine anyways.
This person. Wait, what do I want everyone to know about this person? She's very caring. Very caring. Because I was going to say she likes to bake, but let me say something that's actually for her character. She's very caring. You all know what I'm talking about. Drum roll.
Like you guys said all nice things. I'm like, Feather likes injera.
That's very good.
So obviously I've got Hadley.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you've got to find something.
Something about Hadley that everybody should know. She's disciplined when it comes to like the gym and stuff. A lot of things she's disciplined.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She was disciplined.
Mind to it. She'll do it.
Yeah. Regardless of who's there, she won't get influenced.
No.
In other words, I'm stubborn.
Oh, you have your own opinion.
You can change your mind. If you don't want to do it, you wouldn't do it.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit, guys, ስለ ተዋወቅንበት ታይም ማለት ነው። እንዴት እንደተዋወቅን እነሱ obviously እንዳልኳችሁ ፋሚሊ ናቸው፣ ግን እኔ እንዴት እንደተዋወቅኩኝ ፈኒ ታሪክ ነው የተዋወቅንበት እና our first impressions of each other, like of me obviously and then me of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did we meet?
Oh god.
I think we should talk about this.
I was going to say it makes more sense to start from there.
Yeah, it does.
So how we met, እንዴት ነው የተዋወቅነው መሰላችሁ? እኔና ሞክሼ እነሱ ከተማ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ተመደብኩ and then I went to uni in Sheffield where they live. Should I not say that where you live?
Okay. Street name, don't forget that one. That's good. That's not that big.
ከዛ ስማር like ክላስ ውስጥ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ስንማር ሬጂስተር ላይ ስሟን አየዋለሁ እና normally when I see people my name is FAVEN not FE, so I was like what? Yeah, a lot of people ብዙ ጊዜ it's Eritreans that have the name Feather and it's usually FA, so I was like who is this person that she's literally got my name, and the funny thing is I'm FZ and she's FA, like the first of
A to Z.
And then I was like, who is she? Good ad, hello. Yeah. But then I'm like, she's with her friends, I'm with my friends, so we just never thought to like interact. And I don't know why, because usually I'm very like, oh, you have a show. When I'm beginning conversation,
I was going to say, I think that's very strange.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I've seen another Habesha, I'm like, oh my god, like I need to meet you.
Because and then you're gonna say your perspective.
Okay.
And then I randomly somehow, I don't know, Snapchat later, we saw each other, and then I saw that she was in Ethiopia and it was her birthday, and I was like, oh, Ethiopia, and I was like, oh, she's in Ethiopia. So then I started this WhatsApp group, and I said to her, like, do you want to join the group? Then she was like, oh yeah, that's fine, like I don't mind. She gave me her number, and then she was like, I was having a meeting like on Zoom, and she's like, my cousin would like to come along as well, and this is her number, and I was like, added them both to the number. Yeah. And then what was your thing? Like, why did you not say hi to me at uni?
This is not a question, it's a confrontation.
Honestly. So basically, like you said, I see our names on the register as well. But first, no, I saw her first. I didn't even see the register. And then I went home.
Did you know I was Habesha?
No, I went home and I said to my mom, I think there's a Habesha girl in my uni course. Yes. Like, because I'm in Sheffield, there's not a lot of Habesha people like you interact with. And then so I went home, I told my mom, and she's like, oh, you should say hi to her. So, and then I saw her name and I was like, oh my God, we have the same name. But then she's always hanging out with her group of friends and I have my group of friends. But like, I thought, let's be honest, I thought she was like a mean girl. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, she just has to say,
she has such a serious face.
Impressions of me.
No. I only asked her what she
was as well. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. And then you added me on Snapchat, and then you said happy birthday, and then I was like, oh yeah, thank you, Naman. I see you posting a lot, wearing Habesha clothes, like different Habesha clothes and stuff, and I really like one of Habesha clothes, and I messaged her, I was like, oh, where did you get this Habesha clothes from? I don't know if you remember
this.
I actually don't worry.
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, I asked you, and then you're like, oh, I got it from Ethiopia, like and you told me where you got it from. And then
when I asked you like, oh, do you want me to add you to the group now? How like were you like, oh?
I was like, oh, she's actually nice. When you wished me happy birthday, I was like, I went to Jordi and I was like, oh, you know that girl, that Habesha girl that I told you, we have the same name. Yeah. I'm like, she actually added me on Snap and she messaged me happy birthday. And then I was like, oh, she's actually nice. She's not a mean girl.
The start of a blossoming friendship.
And then we had that meeting, and then Hadley came as well. What did you say? Like, what?
It was for your birthday as well. I don't.
Yeah, no, and then the meeting. And
did we have the meeting
before the birthday?
Okay.
Oh, because it was online.
Yeah, we had the meeting online. Yeah. Where we were like, oh, why I formed the group, why I formed the Ethiopian group, and then I said, oh, why don't you guys come to my birthday? Like, why don't we just Bazoom talk and why don't we meet in person? And then I just invited a couple of people for everything. Yeah. And then they came to my they actually decorated the whole place. It was at our friend's restaurant.
Yeah. So our friend decorated the place, and then we got there and we were like, okay.
Me and Hande, we got there and then we only see we're friends now with them, but like we saw a couple of people and we're like, she's not even here yet. I'm like, I don't know anybody, so I'm like, let's go around.
We walked down.
Wait, you left the restaurant?
No, we saw through the window and you weren't there. I said, I don't know anybody. I'm not.
Mind you, me and Sibling were the most like not out. Oh, how do I say? We only put ourselves out there. Not gonna lie, since we got closer to you with a lot of things, and we felt ourselves coming out of like our shell. But when we peaked and so we were like, nah, we can't socialize just yet. We left.
We literally had like such a good day though that day. Like we literally it was like 11 p.m. We said, because obviously nobody was there, the customers weren't there, it was just us another channel because all the customers left.
Do you know what's funny? I remember I was in York at that point, so I remember
so York was I'm not at York at this point.
I know, but I remember them calling me and them saying, oh, it was actually really nice, we really enjoyed ourselves.
Because we were like, oh, we could have come early, like everybody's so friendly, so nice. We're like, oh, we could have just come in,
here,
you know. But everyone was so lovely that day.
No, we actually had a good time. And then we were like, obviously we go to the same uni. We said, she said, where do you revise? I think some topic. And then I was like, Starbucks, any cafe. And then we met. No, Mari, we didn't talk about that. Was that before the Zoom?
When you guys in Jeddah, when you guys went and had,
what's that? No. That's after like your birthday, Manaman.
Was it?
We met in Heavenly Desert.
I was going to see.
No, when we went to the Habesha restaurant, just me and you.
But that was that was before.
Was that the same day? Did you guys get like Habesha food and then go to Heavenly Dessert?
Yeah. So basically,
of course, that was after.
No. I'm saying Heavenly
Was it after the birthday?
when do you know your friend from Leeds came and then our friend.
Oh yeah, that was
but that was just like
that was
our friend
birthday.
like, oh, by the way, she's called this.
Yeah, that was after. Good, and that's what we chatted.
Actually, that was a really big coincidence. Do you remember that day?
Yeah.
What day?
We were meeting someone else, and that person was with Fevin.
Yeah.
And Fevin went in to meet them,
Because
and
we
I
came
was
to
shy,
drop off
so I
something.
stayed outside.
Yeah.
And then you were like, call her, tell her to come in. And I stood there. I just stood there in the corner, like,
because I didn't know it was you as well.
yeah.
Did you not meet him at the birthday?
This was way before. This was
Way before
unrelated. This was so unrelated. That's what I'm saying. It's a random coincidence. It was unrelated. I didn't even really know about you because like Fevin only mentioned you after you tried when you messaged her to start the Atosh thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was just a separate coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you messaged me, Adam.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, we should go for food, Manaman.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, where would you like to eat? Like, I'm thinking, you know,
Regular
restaurant.
What did I say?
And then she's like,
I want that.
how much a restaurant?
What did I say about Kevin liking in general?
And then these have to learn, and then but my first impression of you guys.
Oh yeah, what did you
never
think
even
of these two?
Me and Yodi never even
wait.
gave our first impression of you.
I know your impression. No, what was your at the birthday? What did you think?
Oh yeah.
Because that's the
That's
first
when I
time you
first
actually
met you.
compliment.
Oh, do you know when I actually first met you? It was Mikael.
What?
So apart from the day we bumped into you,
Yeah.
I met Mikael like because your family came
Yeah.
at church, and it was after the Word Datoch meeting,
Oh.
but it was before your birthday.
Okay.
So Fevin said hi to you, and then I was behind Fevin, and then you were like, oh, nice to meet you. She's like, this was my cousin that joined the call. And then you're like, oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, we're going to make this thing happen. Like, you're Dato Trin.
I do not remember.
I'm trying to
just
put it
put
together.
it
No, it's so bad sometimes. But the random, what I'm saying now just came back to me. So I remember literally like meeting your whole family, saying hi to, I don't know if your dad was there, but I said hi to your mom and you. That's what I remember. And then you were like, yeah, no, this is so exciting.
I remember now.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Do you know after church when we go like
Outside,
eat food manaman, and then your mom said like, oh hi, and it's not true. Like she gave me a hug.
You were like, yeah, to your mom, like, no, this is Fevin.
Yeah.
Wow.
And your dad said hi, and it's like, oh,
yeah, I
Auntie
remember
Yole, like, your favorite. And that's like,
Wow.
she was so nice.
Yeah. Can't lie, this is all just coming back to me.
Yeah.
Because that's when I first met you. So my first impression, I guess, was like bubbly. Also, you're very out there. Like you were doing things that like I would see people doing. I'd be like, that's so cool. But I never thought like, okay, I'm going to do it. So like, oh, like she's cool.
Do you know what's funny? Just going off
That's
of
my
the
first
fact.
impression. It wasn't negative.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, going off of Fevin being outgoing, it was funny because I remember I was at a certain park. I didn't know Fevin was Fevin at this point.
Park?
Yeah, Western Park.
Yeah, that's when she first saw me.
Okay. And I remember walking into the park with my friends. You were with like your other friends. You had like a white dress on or something. I think you were taking pictures. And I walked past.
Wait, so you didn't? Did you not know that's the person that she was talking about?
No idea.
This is hilarious.
Until I went home, wasn't it?
You went home and then she's like, oh, I saw this Habesha girl like taking pictures with Naman. And I was like, really? And then I think I was on my phone, your story popped up and she's like, that's her. And I was like, she goes to my uni. Like, that's the Habesha girl I'm talking about.
Invisible string theory. That's what I'm saying. We were all
from time. And then I remember as well, I saw you with your brother in Cosmos.
My goodness, that day, like Cosmos Tech, you were with this, and then I was with my brother, and then like Baka Salam. Did you say hi?
No, barely. It was just kind of like a
Salam.
Yeah.
Salam.
And you also thought I was in Bingo when you saw me at the park.
I did, because I don't know, like, you were like taking pictures and like you seemed very, I was like, oh, like, just put like, I don't know why
You know how
I got
we
that
picture
impression.
somebody because they're so confident in themselves.
Yeah. I don't want to use the word, but it's society.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
It is.
And then we met. Well, I just thought like, oh my god, I was happy because I was like, finally, I found my champion. And it wasn't just one; it's a whole family.
Yeah, we adopted you.
And then even like but I'm talking about, but in a short space of time. We literally
do you remember like when we met for food and then we went for the dessert?
Yeah.
We were sat there. I'm thinking, I was dreading. I'm like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know this girl. Like, she just invited me for food. Like, what are we going to talk about? And then like we talked about everything after we ate, and we're like, do you want to go for a dessert? You're like, yeah, because we didn't want to leave each other.
Yeah.
So we went for a dessert, and then we talked more. And we're like, okay, it's getting late. We need to go home. And we're like, can we arrange to meet again?
Yeah.
And
That's when
and I cafe get half of it as well. Like,
Yeah. They're not saying like Cafe Nero is not serious. Period. That Cafe Nero, and do you know what the thing is? It's a glass building, so you're seeing outside, everyone's seeing it, everyone's talking.
No work has actually ever done that, I feel like, with you guys.
No, we do work. We don't do work.
No, sometimes when we're stressed, because
it'll be like the day before. We all just like locked in. And like
we'll get there at different times as well. Like, someone's already there.
Because you might be at work or fair enough.
I was just like so happy. And then the thing is, like, when I met your family and stuff, I was like, this feels like home. Like, this is exactly like my family. So it just felt so like, it wasn't like just friends. I was like, this is
like,
family,
how
not
we
friends.
met, like we went, I think your mom came to Sheffield, and then my mom, and then we went to church, and you came as well,
and we were just watching our mums as well.
And then we were like,
I came to your house after church, you know?
We got in the taxi. But the thing is, they went home because they were planning on going to Ethiopia, so they went home and they're going to go shopping. So we said, we'll stay with Fevin. We went to our accommodation straight after church.
And you did? That accommodation, now we have to talk about all this.
We knocked out, like we slept, and they called us, we're like, oh, we in town, like, do you want to meet? Or like, and then we had food with them.
Yeah. No,
that vegan burger from Burger King. To see us coming.
It just felt like so like home.
But you weren't planning on coming home. You were like, it was next to your accommodation, so we went there. We had food with them, and then they're like, your mom was like, she's like, you've never told you, like, you're not going home.
Yeah.
She pulled her in, she got in the taxi with her Habesha kamis. And then we went home, and then
this is literally like
you guys came home.
By the way, I think
it just felt so right.
We need to point out that the reason why this feels so weird is because I don't know. I think you too. We weren't people that just got close to people. That's why it felt so weird. We don't go sleep over other people's house. That's what I'm saying. We started doing it straight away. It just felt so normal.
Like, like, even coming over, like my family, like they'd be like, yes, no, because I never leave the house, and then it's like, I'm just sleeping over there, and then it's like, okay, whatever, and then you come, and then
you had your little pajamas that you stuffed in.
I have my pajamas at the house.
We did as well.
It was just like, it felt natural. It felt like home. It was just so familiar. Like we had the same norms and values in life.
Like, the first time we met, like, your mom properly was here because our parents went to Ethiopia.
Oh yeah, we spent a lot of time. We need to say that. We need to say, I think before we go on, we need to say I was in my first year of uni. I came from London, and like I was in my first year. What are the odds? I'm in Sheffield. She's in her second year, third year. Like we were all like, it just all kind of fell into place. But it was your third year, obviously.
I know.
I think that's when we were
so good.
like,
I didn't meet you guys like earlier.
I was actually going to say, it's so sad that we didn't all meet together when you were like first year, second year.
It was in York, and then
I spent like the majority of my time in York, so I would come and then it was just so like strange.
By the way,
dynamic.
this much has happened. She's like, I was only here 2 weeks ago.
And it was like, you guys would have so much to say, and I was like, okay.
But we just formed such a bond. Like even that accommodation, like we'd go to church together. We'd literally just get like sleep,
Bible study.
Oh yeah.
That was so
Bible studies together. And now, that's a friendship for Marek. And it was just really nice. It felt natural. Yeah, well, when our parents went to Ethiopia, not like your parents, when you guys' parents went to Ethiopia, my parents
seriously, when our parents,
it makes more sense to say
they went to Ethiopia for Fasika better, like Fasika season better, but kind of like that time, I think that was the best Fasika I've ever had. Honestly speaking,
in a way, I just remember it was such a different experience. When I look back, it was a sunny time. Like, that's the way to describe it.
Remember last time? When was it? Like last Sunday or something? We were going somewhere and it was a nice sunny day, and you're like, oh, this reminds me of
that time. Me, you and Feather that year.
Yeah.
Do you know how it was weirdly sunny last week?
Yeah.
We were walking around town. I was like, it just reminds me of that time.
Wait, was that Classic had the one where
Every
we had
time the
the
sun
Irish
Sheffield, it just reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So for that Amazon, like it was just so awesome. Like I just loved the Fasika season and that. So guys, you wait till we're chatting. I gotta wait. So we have the whole house to ourselves. We have, we can do whatever we want. Like no one's there to control us.
It's what you would actually expect.
What were we doing? What were we doing?
That's the question.
When I heard
What were we doing?
Say what you were doing in Cafeteria, guys.
No, we should actually explain it from start to finish. I know I am short story long. That's me. But I'm going to let you do the medium version.
No, you say enough.
Go on.
Okay, I'll start and you guys jump in. I'm even thinking, right, they left. Me and Feather went to London, didn't Shengacha.
Yeah.
And then we came back and we were like, well, this is it.
And they were gone for a time. Like,
Yeah, they were. No,
They were like a month and a bit.
And also, because Easter time aligns with uni, like when Easter break happens, uni is finishing as well.
Yeah.
So it was low-key like the most stressful time of uni.
Yeah.
And it was Abid's home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
we were fasting.
We were fasting.
Did we start Bible study at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a fit. I think.
We started.
It had been going from before.
Yeah.
So what were we doing? Around that time, we got like the church was starting to kind of bring their Mazmur kafel back.
Yeah.
And we are like the older. We're not even kids, we're not adults, we're just that awkward middle. And the church isn't that big and they just want us to be a really good influence. So we were like approached by many adults and they were like, we weren't even, it's not even like we didn't want to do it. It just all kind of happened at once.
Yeah.
But we were up for it.
Yeah.
Balancing it with uni and also like what's the word? Encouraging each other.
Yeah.
So tell me why just find any time to revise Mazmur. Like limdim madelim, that's what I'm trying to say. Now it's like cool Mazmur like or whatever. It's just more normal.
Yeah.
Back then it was like, okay, we need to revise this Mazmur. We need to remember it word for word. How do we do that?
Something you were used to.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, like even now, like whether it's even before, if it was any song, when you memorize a song, Doro, it wasn't like you sit down and you think the lyrics. It was just you like the song, you know the song. Mazmurun bihun. So when we're trying to learn every single word or like pronunciation, where were we doing this is the question. We have one big empty house. Yeah. We have your phone, but now we chose to do it in Cafe Nero.
And also like to think.
The table was
The thing that makes me laugh now, looking back at it, we weren't even embarrassed. No, we weren't stressed.
You need stressing us out, so we do work, like, and then we do.
And you didn't want to run shifts.
She had work
in town. Sheffield is not that big, innit? So I would go to work, come back. Cafe Nero is the glass house, remember? Coach Air Triangle.
And then it's not just Mazmur, it's word as well.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh, we didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't look normal.
Like, no, seriously, we didn't look normal.
It's good to say that, not good to say, sorry. A lot of people that come to that cafe in there don't look normal, so blended in, that's what it was.
None of the time that we didn't really like, but the man was we were just doing our Mazmur. I just didn't know why we didn't do it at home.
No, literally.
Yeah. You had an entire empty house. You had your accommodation. So many places you could have done it.
A lot of things definitely like had to happen here and now. Yeah. So we're sat in Cafe Nero, cool, whip the word about, whip the Mazmur out. And now, but we go, if we wait till we get home, because certain times we just forget everything. There were times when you forget your groceries in places. Yeah.
Because guys, we literally had the best time. Like the best time is like we were just having fun. Like we'd go home. Like I'd always stay at your house because I was like, what the hell? Why am I staying in this accommodation? And then we literally go home. It's so like whipping up food. We just like we make anything and everything.
Yeah, and your mom packs us like a big lunchbox, like whenever you come back to dinner. And then we have like this big food, and then
We
we
just
like.
make a meal, eat it, go to sleep, wake up.
And you know what? The adults, they don't believe us that anything that we're not. They're like, I bet you're not eating right.
Yeah.
Or like, I bet you like.
We need to tell them when we cook that whole
Yeah, I was going to talk about that day now.
That was crazy. What was
we
we
jumping
thinking? Yeah, we could talk about the dinner.
Yeah.
It wasn't dinner. It wasn't
No, whenever we Kidana bread.
I don't remember why we did it.
Why?
We tried to start.
We just like a little mahara. So every time, like when it's Kidana bread, we do like salad.
We did it for a bit though.
No, I'm saying but because it's
No, we tried to do
No. It was no.
Dagmar side.
It was
no.
Dagmar side.
It was
Yeah.
It was that mountain side because nobody was like we had uni, so we couldn't come to your house as they did.
Yeah.
And then
so let's say it's all finished. We had Fasika. You guys came over to my family's house.
Yeah.
We all got back to Navashak and it's
My goodness.
Insert picture.
So we all got the same dress made. We came to Leeds. Literally, that was the best Fasika.
Yeah,
and then
truly.
we used to we stayed for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then
That was really the best Fasika.
we went home. We took Agar, remember?
Yes.
And then,
Yeah.
guys, I had an exam the day after. I'm at one.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. You know, we were trying to online
So I had to wake up like early in the morning.
And you guys, right, wake up, we're going through this together. You on the air mattress.
Just barely awake, not knowing what was going on.
These two.
Yeah.
You were on the same course. I don't know if you mentioned.
Do you know what I loved as well? Just to say, you know how you guys would get Agal Manam and then you guys would go back to Sheffield? I would get my Agal too and I'd be in York with my big tub of Agal. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
We came back to Sheffield and that because I don't mind saying we don't go
That makes sense because every time I try to explain to my dad, sometimes his memory is a bit. So I'd be like, remember that time we made food? He'd be like, Mechi. Like, right, let me whip up the picture again. Every time I explained it to him, I would say, it's not Easter. It was around Easter. Yes. I don't know if we did it for this. No, it doesn't make sense. Fjordi wasn't there. Because if it's something so important, you would have been there.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I was trying to, I never remembered, but it was like nothing. So.
Guys, you wouldn't believe it. Like, we were literally our mums.
Yes, but I would like to say when you guys sent me the picture of the food, I was like, no, you went to a restaurant, you had that made and you're trying to like trick me or something. I just didn't believe you guys. But the food you made,
as the Americans,
you did most of it.
Basically, we can't make what and stuff. Joro what. We can't make that. But we make the basics, so we made.
That was not basic. We literally made I cut for tips, all that. Like we.
It's cheese, y'all. She made cheese.
We had to call our moms and we're like, how do you make this? How do you do that? We actually made it. Like,
we literally went to the Sugar Bakery and Sugar Guston.
We literally
prepped it and then we made. Now we had cake. Like we were
just three of us. Mind you, like it wasn't like we were tired after cooking. No. We made the food. We got dressed up. We sat at the table and ate.
The green
we put the food away.
Dressed up.
Bunna ceremony. Bunna was. And then we sat down at the sofa and watched the videos like our mums.
Truly.
Well,
it's for
it is. Yes. We have to mention it is your influence.
Yeah, definitely.
In a good way. We were never bothered about stuff like that, but we truly enjoyed it.
Yeah. If it was just me and Hanley, we were just
on another day. Truly, if it was just like the three of us, we'd have probably just either ordered food or just made simple and go and just called it a day.
Yeah. No, we were. I don't know what was going on.
I remember coming out of work at 11 p.m. in York, and I was seeing the videos of the food, everything. I was like, "There's no way." I found it so hard to believe. I was like, "What?"
Then that was literally the best time.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But as middle master was so.
That was the most stressful. We went through everything within that year.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's what like made us bond even more.
Yeah, definitely.
Through the highs, the lows, everything.
We're gonna talk about like when I was sick and you guys took care of me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, she was
like
sick.
we went through so many. It's stressful. As much as I was in pain, I could only imagine how stressful it was for you guys because There's no like, you guys took care of me.
Yeah, we're the mom now.
And mind you, we didn't tell our parents anything. Like, if anything, it was like after I felt a little bit better. You told your mom, and she was like, "Look, and like at least it was over at that point."
It was actually like it was really
because it was the time when me and Halle went to London. You know, like to see the house Manaman, and
you know when it actually started the pain. Do you remember when before we went to London and I was sitting on the sofa and we used to like to concoct food and we made these like do you know when we put the noodles in the rice wrap, the rice thingy wrap? Guys, my belly feels like a balloon. My belly feels like a balloon after. No, but like it might not be it, but that was the day it started. Do you remember I was trying to sleep and I was like, oh, like maybe I know, like I was complaining, but it wasn't pain, so I kept brushing it off. And spent the whole time in London. And then in London, boy,
that rice paper noodles should have never been a thing that we did.
That was. And then she was sick the day before we were going back to Sheffield. So we were like,
she was sick on the train.
So in the middle of the night, like
I woke up.
I remember that Kevin, like I'm ill. Like she's like.
Is it dramatic to call an ambulance? Like,
and then I got so scared. I jumped out of the bed. I was like, "Hello, what's wrong?" She's like, "I vomited," and then she just sat on, like, slid on the wall and just sat on the floor, like,
because I couldn't get out of that position.
And then I was like, "But you're breathing, you're alive, so we're not gonna call 999,
maybe 111."
I was gonna say 911, but I said, we're not going to call 999, so I'll call 111. And then the woman spoke to Halle, like...
She's like, maybe it's just a bug.
Like a stomach
no,
bug?
She didn't say... That's what it was. But like she said, like maybe it's heartburn. Just get the Gaviscon.
Yeah. She said.
That made it worse. I got on the train. I was
and then I'm thinking, are you feeling better? Because that's what we're thinking. And then she's like, no, it's worse. And then she was like vomiting on the train.
She got to Sheffield and she was just like... I saw her
it was up.
And she literally was like, and then we took her to the clinic.
I remember because we had never been to the walk-in. I'm not registered to a GP in Sheffield, but back then I wasn't. So like we were like, where's the walk-in centre? You roughly knew where it was. You were like, Halle, but a child. Sheffield is hills on hills on hills. I'm nothing in my system. I'm going up the hill like
I remember that.
And then we sat there for like over an hour to be seen.
Oh really?
The woman, I was so delirious. I thought that because you see someone first, then you go back out and wait, and then you go to the other room. And then I got to the door and I was like, can someone come with me? She's like, how old are you? I think I was... Can you imagine? I was definitely 18 at that point. I was over 18. I said 18. No, I'm like, I was so cool. I was delirious. She was like, it's fine, game. I was looking at them like,
who came with you? Okay, you couldn't go in.
I think we had masks on at that point. It was 2022. I'm not sure. She's like, no, just come in. You'll be fine. She took like the thingy and then went back outside, waited. Woman felt up my belly in the room. She's like, like it's probably. I think she said there's a bug that was going around. Whatever she gave me, God bless her.
She gave me a prescription. And then we had to pick up. So basically, we were like, Boots, let's go to Boots and pick up.
They dropped me off.
You came to my said, you go to my accommodation, we're going to go get your prescription.
Because when we went to Boots, it was shut. It was 6 o'clock.
So we were like,
and then that day was Bible study as well. So we're like, we need to make it for Bible study and get them.
Nobody knew what we were saying.
So we said, Halle, here's the key. Go to upstairs. So we gave Halle the key. She went to Fevan's accommodation.
My way to the accommodation, but
and then me and Fevan were finding a pharmacy that shuts like later than 6. And then it
took us far. We don't
so we had to get a bus and then go like 20 minutes on the bus, and she wouldn't eat anything, so we had to like make something that's good for her stomach. So we bought we did a little shopping, so we got rice. Banana was good for stomach, so we got bananas, crackers, and toast.
When I think of like the Jacob crackers thing, it's like,
does it give you trauma?
No, good. I remember that was the first thing I tasted. Do you know what I hated for a very long time? The last thing I ate was falafel. The last thing I ate before it all started to go to
No, especially when it's now we go to like Tesco meal deals or something and we look at falafel.
Years later, I am easy my way back into it. Years later.
Fair enough. So even going off of the fact that you guys cooked, you guys also ordered a lot.
Like ordered food. Talk about that. Quite a lot. We literally would order and just sit there and feast.
Literally, it was bad. Cooked, but you guys also ordered a lot.
I think we did more cooking when like the parents left that we did.
That's true.
We actually cooked a lot.
We ate a lot generally. No, like let's talk about it because because we'd be in town a lot.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, if it's not Cafe Nero, it would be first year uni. I never went to the library. Let's just say that.
Actually,
none of us went to the library.
Yeah, but German don't care about anything you open. Guys, we have to try this.
Yeah, and anything new place opens, we have to try it.
We didn't know where the library was.
Another thing though that we did a lot of was Uber.
Uber what?
Like,
oh my
Uber.
goodness, yeah.
Uber Eats, Uber Drive.
It's every Sunday. It was just another person from Sheffield going, "Oh my god, you guys look like ghosts."
Oh my goodness.
Because we walk home and we send it from church, and we go to yours, sleep, get an Uber home. That was the routine.
Yeah.
Where are you guys coming from, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh my goodness. Your northern accent.
Trying to do the northern accent.
You know what? It's getting back. I won't lie. Your northern accent is getting back.
But I just loved that time because you know what it felt like, because for the longest time, like I didn't really have I had Habesha friends, but it wasn't like I wasn't just like, I always had my family and my cousins, but I never really had friends. So it's like finally, like I have friends. And they're not just friends, sisterhood friends.
Yeah.
So I was like, this feel, and it's like obviously when your parents and your family accept it as well, like they love you guys. They're like, when are they coming? Like, what's your mental? So I was like, this is not just like, even my family say to me like, they're not your friends, they're literally like your sisters.
Do you know what's funny? Even when I first came like to yours, like in Leeds, it genuinely felt like I was home. It
she literally like, man, you used to come get like your hair. Like,
I was talking about the distance, York and Leeds are like 20 minutes, 30 minutes by train. So I would just come.
My mom said to her, like, come, let me come.
And then I would get my hair braided, oiled, and then
she was cool as would be like, I'm
literally. And then I would go to with like a massive tub. Even everyone would leave when I'd leave in the morning. Half of you were already gone, so I'd leave a little bit later. I used to literally have cereal. I used to have cereal, lock up the door, go. Like it was just keep back in the envelope. Like it was a time.
It literally was a time. Insane. Honestly, it was literally the best time.
It didn't feel like young good habits. No, it just felt like
so much short amount of space.
Yeah,
my mom always was like, I wish you knew them earlier. Like,
that's like the biggest thing.
Your mom says that all the time.
Like by the sad.
And the thing is, we can spend. Like, Fevan doesn't need to be there for me to spend time with her family.
Exactly.
And then do the same. Like, when she comes to my house, like,
you guys
she's in the bedroom with my mom.
That was a child.
No, seriously. Or, like, when is it when you'd be, because by the way, you don't wake up early.
No.
But I do remember you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you too. You can sleep through an apocalypse. But I would go to the gym and then usually in bed. Routine, So the routine would be like, if it's a day when you sleep over and then we're not doing anything serious the next day, I'd go to the gym, you'd be asleep. Fevan would be up.
She'd be up making us breakfast. She's making something. Everything.
I'd go to the gym, come back. She's downstairs making coffee. That's what you're doing.
Or if I do wake up, when I do
time when we went to the gym, and we came back and then she made it like bunna, and I just like she's like, yeah guys, she said, Moksha, it's your time to make food.
Just a bunna, everything's finished.
She makes the food. I love that.
There's a reason.
The vibes, everything is there. It's been set. Now it's your time to do the food.
There's a reason why this is called bunna.
Exactly. There's a reason. Can you just explain to them how much I love making bunna?
Oh my goodness. Do you know what's what did you say?
What did she say?
We've not been fed.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's how I'm joking.
Guys, so when we was at uni, like we listen and then obviously me and this other friend that we have, we're always like, obviously, what else can we eat?
Tasha and the truck,
she's like, yeah guys,
just doesn't feel like food.
To be honest, like, in the day I have to eat injera. Like even when I come to yours, you know, like
by the way, like
yeah, the injera on the side.
Yeah,
that has to be like the cherry on top. I have to eat injera.
Otherwise it doesn't feel like food.
It doesn't feel like food. So and they done injera balala. Like as we mentioned, our friend's mom owns a restaurant, Habesha restaurant. So we'd go there, we'd eat our food, and then there's bunna. No milk, nothing. Because just straight up black coffee. And then they started to say like, guys, come on, we can't be eating injera all the time. So then we started exploring other food. And we were like, okay, let me try that. Let me try and eat other things.
God.
But I remember one time. It was later, and our friend's mom, they shut like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they don't really make food anymore after that time. So we're like, oh, let's try a new restaurant. And then we went.
That was the last time.
And then one of my friends, bear in mind, he was saying, I don't like to eat out, guys. Like Habesha restaurants. Like, what you
was it when I met you guys after work?
I think you came as well.
And then we called it a day, went home, and then next day I was like,
we were all unwell.
I said, no, even Kylie said at night, she's like, oh, my stomach is a bit.
Because I don't really like to eat meat, so I thought that was why. I know it's going to happen, but you know, but
yeah. And then me, I was gone.
You went to your common name.
Yeah. You went.
Everybody was.
And then I called Fevin.
We all called each other.
I'm like, and Fevin was like, oh my god, I think it was just me. All of us were ill.
Yeah. I went upstairs toilet, me downstairs toilet.
Oh,
and then we told our moms, and they're like, say you were like, why are you eating out? Especially in Jeddah when you have
that's very true.
It was usually just our friend's mum's restaurant, because she makes it for us. Like she wouldn't, you know.
It's like home.
Yeah.
But I was scared about eating stuff like dulat, ketfum, and in other.
I think
I hate myself. And do you know what I do? Do you know what I love? Do you know what she put me on? Fud with mushrooms. Sure, yeah, of course. Fud with mushrooms. Fud with mushrooms.
That's actually really nice.
She put bell peppers in it as well. I loved it.
That was so nice.
Yeah,
that was so nice.
Shuro yale zait. Said you're saving me ingredients.
It was a really good time.
It was.
So I think, at least you and Tanas talk about us. Let's talk a little bit like about our upbringing. Because obviously, we know each other now. I didn't know like how you were raised or any funny moments from like your upbringing.
We need to point out that there was a lot of overlap. That's why we related, because our backgrounds were so similar.
That's literally, even in Ethiopia, we're from the same place.
Oh my goodness, literally.
Let's tell them where we were born first. Obviously, I was born in Ethiopia.
I was born in Ethiopia as well.
I was born in Ethiopia as well.
You wish you were born in Ethiopia.
My umbilical cord is on very guys, I'm so upset about that.
It is or it's not?
It's not. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
You can what's this called? Like,
no, I know, but my parents, I don't know actually. Well, I was born in London, but I did go back to Ethiopia so maybe they took it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, you were born and then you went straight to Ethiopia.
Yeah. How was that though? Like, why did they take you?
I was gonna say,
well, I'm pretty sure.
How old were you? Were you older enough?
I think I was just before 1 or I turned 1.
So you don't remember like much?
I don't remember it at all, but it had an impact.
Was it a year that you were there?
2 years. It was just before I started school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think if I talk about it now. Impact. Bond with family. I thought. So you see how when you grow up and everyone says, oh, like a Natasha Corning.
Yeah.
I thought I had 2 mums, 1 dad. Like, genuinely, obviously you don't know how biology works. I had 2 mums, 1 dad, 1 brother. Like I swear on my life.
Yeah.
She's at the history of it.
And then, because she was in Ethiopia, so we all grew up together.
Yeah.
Our family's so close.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we all grew up.
You were in Ethiopia when she came?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Fair enough.
But yeah.
So we all thought like we were sisters.
Yeah.
Like, because I was the same brother.
Yeah.
Like,
how? No, you
so
know,
then you came
was a rude awakening.
You came to London, but they didn't come with you at that time.
No. I don't have memory.
Yeah.
My first like genuine memory of going back to Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Like, I remember them being there. So in terms of memory, my first time in Ethiopia, they were there. Everyone was there.
Yeah.
Like, I remember what everyone was wearing. I remember the way Feva looked when she walked up to me. I remember the way Yordi looked when we were driving in the drive-through.
You were saying that, and I had no recollection.
She was wearing this cute little skirt, and like, mind you, we were. I'm trying to remember. We were like 4.
Yeah.
So that's my first conscious memory, because I don't remember things from before I was 4 years old. I'm assuming she was wearing this like little frilly skirt, white tights.
She remembers outfit.
Red shiny shoes. I think I had red shiny shoes as well. If Emma remembers this, I don't remember. She can tell you.
Yeah.
But Yordi was like doing this with her feet on the chair, and I was like, who's that? Because I don't like. I feel like
And like you went after summer. Like she spent summer with us.
Yeah.
And then she went, and then we came back the following September.
Like you came to the UK.
Oh,
Yeah.
really close then.
The following September. So it was like, and then they told Halle like, oh, your sister's gonna come, and then she was so excited.
Do you know what I was? Do you know when Habesha parents talk to children?
Lies.
They really don't understand that. No, it's not even lies. It's not on purpose. They don't understand that I'm taking your word as Bible.
Yeah,
so they said they're going to come here. They're going to live with you. We're not in the same academic year. In my head, I'm imagining us sitting next to each other on the carpet. I'm in year 2. Like, we wouldn't even be in the same year, so common sense wasn't there. I was like Feather's going to sit next to me on the carpet. You're just going to sit there on the carpet. I was in year 2. They're going to love Mr. Hart. I'm just making names.
We would have gotten kicked out if we were in the same.
Oh, sure.
Same school.
For sure.
There's no way.
And then they came.
That's what I thought. So we stayed together.
A week
Yeah.
In London.
in London.
I think my dad knew I was sensitive. He's like, yeah, they're gonna be with.
Because we were supposed to go like on the Wednesday to Sheffield. But then Halle was just like, you can tell she was really sensitive. So our mom went to Sheffield.
Okay.
And then we went on the Friday after school with Halle because we were like, oh, like Halle needs to come with us. So we went so she can spend the weekend and then go back.
Sheffield.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, like, and then I think my dad told me either on a Wednesday or something. He's like, they're gonna live in Sheffield, you know. I was like, a bunch Sheffield. Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Like, you've got a big, let's just get a bigger house, like, let it be here. But then it just, obviously, summers in Sheffield was so nice.
Yeah.
Them two was so close, like very, very close.
Because it's separating and crying.
They used to cry so much. Like when they separate, like they cry so much. So she'll be like crying on her way to Sheffield, or she'll be crying on her way to London. Like,
but bear in mind, it was really like a 2-hour difference. But like, it felt like so.
Yeah, but we used to have to wait until half term.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like we all had we had an iPad, so it was Skype.
Yeah.
Skyping every day.
Yeah.
I feel so old now.
What was it for you guys like coming to the UK though? I don't know if you remember much, but
I mean, I truly, I don't.
I remember more.
Yeah, I feel like Halle remembers.
Can we just say we're 3 months apart?
But Halle remembers a lot more.
Yeah.
So you were 4?
No, I was 5.
5.
Yeah.
And then
5, 10, and 6.
8.
Yeah.
What was it like coming?
Oh my goodness. I came here with the idea thinking they told me I was just here for like a weekend and then I was going to go back to
We're gullible. We're too
I'm
gullible.
so gullible. So I came and I was like, okay, great. Like I came here and then after a week I was like, okay, like I'm ready to go back. Like I'm over it now. Like I'm ready to go back to Ethiopia. And they were like, so you're not going back? I'm like, what do you mean? I remember crying and be like, what do you mean I want to go back? Because my brain, you know how you have to mentally prepare yourself to do something?
Yeah.
My brain was very much like, okay, like I'm mentally preparing myself to stay here for like that short amount of time that I'm going back to Ethiopia. I was just like, no, you have to stay here. I was like, okay.
What about for you? Obviously, you were very aware.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you knew you were going to stay here for a long time.
Yeah, will come and say.
Was there anything that, like, when you first came, like, when the cultural shocks or anything that you're like, what the hell is this?
I don't know.
Did you have any expectations coming to the UK?
Yeah, like, you know, everybody's rich.
Yeah,
you won't see a homeless on the street. Like, that's not true. What's this one doing on the street? Like, what? It is. And like, when we giving him money, I was like, money? And yeah, that's what giving money to the homeless guys. For a white person.
She was like, this is not my
I know what you do.
Yeah, just did.
It's what we're showing, isn't it?
Yeah. Was it easy for you to fit in, like at school and stuff?
I think
it was easier.
it was really easy. I think when you're younger, I think everybody's
It's
nice
easy
to
to
you.
make
Like
friends,
teachers, everybody was really
You're the
nice.
exciting person from a
Everybody wants to be your friend. Like, oh, I want to be her friend. Like, I want to introduce you like to everybody. Like, I want to show you around and stuff. Yeah, everybody.
So did you
wants to
start
be
at
your
primary
friend.
school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on. I'm not in secondary school, but yeah.
Do you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought language was the biggest problem for me.
Really?
You're going to school, yeah. Like not speaking good English. Oh, not speaking English.
I mean,
It was
you know
like-
the basic in Ethiopia. We knew the basic, like a little bit.
I think not just that. I don't know about you had it as well. I had like a personal person that would literally be with me. I would get taken out of lessons to like
like a
buddy,
A teacher.
no,
a teacher,
an actual teacher
Oh,
that would follow me around. And they made, this was so cute. They made an entire booklet of Amarinya to English. It was like a translation and written in
I
Amarinya.
don't remember that.
No, it was
That's
written in
nice.
Amarinya English. So like they'd sit me down, and if I wanted to say something, I'll point to it in Amarinya because I'm Amarinya no manabo. So I'll say that, and I'll be like, oh, that's what this means. So I'll try and.
What do you mean,
attempt
like
to read.
Amarinya, like in Amarinya writing or
It'll
English?
be in Amarinya writing, English Amarinya under it, and then the translation.
Wow,
Which
Oh,
one did
that's
you read?
really good.
Which I don't remember. I just read whatever I read, and then I would just
Because you
say
didn't
it.
You should probably read like English.
It wasn't like proper.
Like,
It was
it'd be
probably
like
English Amarinya.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't have been the proper Amarinya, but I had that, and I would just communicate through that. Everyone was actually so sweet to me. Like when I learning English.
We
and
have
stuff
to talk about your shenanigans at school.
Oh my goodness. Do you know what? I just remember when I first, because I went straight into year 2. So when I kind of went straight in, I just remember like everyone speaking this language, and I remember I wasn't feeling left out. I thought they were strange. I was like, I didn't know, like, what did they? Like,
You thought they were strange.
that's what I was
Your
thinking.
was always that girl.
I know.
No, because I was
From
just
her day, I
like,
saw her. She's been like that.
You're this her own person. Like,
Literally,
she
she's her own
does not
bubble, like, she doesn't
care.
care.
I just thought they were so strange. I was like, and no, that's what was funny. And I remember they gave me like a buddy, then more like someone that would just like walk around with me. And I was so bad because there was this one girl, she would obviously like introduce me to people or whatever. And then, you know, because you're new, everyone would be like following you about. Like I was like a thingy. So I used to literally tell some of them, I was like, okay, you're done now. It's your turn to like think. I used to literally tell people like, it's your turn now.
To introduce me or what?
No, like it's your turn to spend like break time, you can spend time with me. And I was like, lunchtime, you spend time with me. Like
She was doing meet and greets before meet and greets was a thing.
Like, oh, you knew English.
Because I don't know, it's broken. She's actually brave. I used to genuinely tell people
She
like,
was
it's
the
your
girl.
turn.
Yeah, I know. From the stories I've heard, she's
Yeah,
like,
bravery is her normal.
yeah,
Like,
she was literally
It
just
was so
like,
normal to me. And I think one of the core memories, like we were in the playground, and in the playground there's like
I love this story.
I remember this. There's like this hut specifically in the corner of the playground, and they were like, where are you from? What's your culture like? What kind of songs? What kind of dinner do you have? So there's this one Zafan by like Bella Izalak, and I was like, oh, let me teach you this.
It's not by Bella Izalak.
No, it's not.
It's about Gigi's.
It's about Bella Izalak.
Yeah, it's about Bella Izalak. So there was that song, and I remember standing in the middle of like this hut. I made everyone sit down in a circle, and I stood there and I performed, and they were like, teach us. So I was there, I was teaching them the skista, I was teaching them the words, like truly. And I remember the teacher coming up to me, and she was like, oh, Udanos, what did you teach the kids? And I don't know what language I explained it to her, but I explained to her what I did, what I was showing them. Everyone came in, you know, from break time and lunchtime, everyone was like quite hyper and stuff. So they would come in, everyone was going, Makina. Like everyone was walking in, just like, Makina.
Why that song? How did that come to your mind?
I don't know. It was just a song that I knew about God. It was just
been the last song she had as she was leaving.
Yeah.
She's a different
Yeah.
No, honestly.
Sing it for us.
Next one.
Do you even know the
Do you know the lyrics? I don't remember it anymore. I don't know where the lyrics came from.
I love that song too. Like when I was younger. It was
I
one
never
that
even
stood out
heard
to
of
me.
it until she mentioned the story. Yeah.
I loved it as well.
No, literally, I remember my mom picking me up from school, and all the kids were coming out going, Makina, doing this with their shoulders. It's good style out of it. And my mom was looking at you.
What is going on?
Yeah.
What did the teacher
My
say?
teacher came up to me. She was like, oh, Udanos was teaching us her cultural dance, her cultural song, and all of these things. And she goes, it was incredible to see. She was just so excited, like, of what I was doing. Me, I didn't think anything of it. I just went home.
But you went to the same school, no?
Yeah, we did.
Did you know about what she was a
No, so basically, you know how like from nursery to year 1,
there's
like
different juniors and infants.
Yeah. So she was in the infants and I was in the juniors. So it's like I did not see what happened.
Yeah.
She had no idea until we were coming out. Everyone was going, Makina, this side. She was like, what the heck was going on? I felt like Feather's experience was so
hearing
different.
about your these like childhood stories.
Oh my god,
She was just literally like,
I think it was just my confidence. I don't know what it was, but
it was unbelievable.
Oh my
There was a story about when you were coughing or when you were sick.
Oh,
I
She
love that
was
story
really,
as well.
really gullible. Like,
I was
very gullible.
so gullible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you tell the story because I barely remember this.
That time, I would say 7?
So
7?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
7?
yeah, I'd say 7, 8.
Yeah.
So
And
year 2, wasn't it?
I got really sick. I had like really bad cold.
Oh my gosh.
And so I went to the GP and so I was coughing really bad and sneezing, and like she's just like, oh, like what shall we make her? Like to my mom, like what do we do for her? And then my mom, as a joke, she said like, oh, every time she coughs and sneezes, you need to say like you marriage to her, but you need to like bend down and do this and say you marriage, and then you need to clap as well. So you're just like, oh, would she get better if I do that? She's like, yeah.
Guys, I was so gullible.
Yeah, so she's like, okay. And we didn't think of anything.
Yeah.
So I was like sleeping, and every time I cough or sneeze, she legit gets up from side. She goes, you marriage? And then she claps.
Be bending down.
Yeah. And I was just like, what's this girl doing? So I was like, let me just be quiet and just let it happen. She was doing it all day.
But like the entire day, I was continuously going, you bending
I was
down.
clapping as well and everything.
Yeah. And then
She was half asleep, isn't it?
yeah, she was really tired, guys.
She would literally get up from her sleep, like you all said. Like, she would literally wake up and be like, you managed everything.
And then so she got so tired, she went to bed, and my mom was preparing dinner, and then she goes, where's Yurti? And I'm like, I don't know, she's in the bedroom, I think. She likes to be by herself a lot. She just draws like in draws, writes, whatever. Just by herself. Like, so we know, like she'll be like drawing or writing and she falls asleep there. I went to wake her up. I said, Yuri, tell her. She looks, you want to like I had enough. It was so funny. And then she just went back to bed. And I was so tired. My mom died.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You guys are evil.
I was so gullible. I would believe anything and everything someone told me. I'd be like, okay, I'll take it. But like how they said, I would take it like Bible.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
We were victims growing up.
Yeah, very
honestly.
much. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she was a victim too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Even now,
Right, so let's talk about it. So Fevin really took this thing, and when they met the Moshes,
Moshes. We need to.
they would lie about anything. It's not even a lie. It's actually
lying.
It's a lie. It is lying.
It is. We can make anything up and say it and they believe it.
Yeah, but can we actually talk about like the fact that they lie about unnecessary things? I am such an advocate of, why am I wasting my time? Like, let me I don't know, like if it's believable, okay.
I'm gonna believe it.
This is like the worst one for me personally, because I was so frantic for no reason.
Which one is it?
Yeah, I'm about to tell you. I was downstairs in your accommodation doing my hair. We were in the common room after Bible study or something, and I was doing my hair and I started my hair. It was really late and I don't know what we were planning to do. I think you were trying to convince her to come and sleep at our house. Yeah. Because it was either that or we were gonna get an Uber and go home. Yeah. And I was doing my hair. I was braiding my own hair with extensions. And so I had done like almost half of my head and I had like the top half is all to do. And then you guys came down. No, you went upstairs, you were like, I'm gonna pack my things, we're gonna take our time. So let me like we'll take our time, we'll take Uber, go home. You guys come downstairs, our friends are there. You guys come down, you go, guys, it's not funny. There's a rat upstairs. We need to go. Why am I running? It's upstairs. Even if it's like, hey, go get your stuff. She's like, no. Shoot, yeah. I still have my stuff upstairs. I was like, I'm not going up there, but I don't know why I was so frantic. I don't know who I was running for. She did that meme. I don't know who I'm thinking. I was like, I'm trying to get over.
I'm trying to go.
I don't know. Yeah. She lives in a Hunsa. Like, I don't know what it was about. Flat. Oh my God, there's a rat upstairs. But we have to go and get the stuff. That was the
Yeah, we still had to go upstairs and get the stuff.
You're right.
You said I'm not going out. Like,
I said I'm not. Good night. I remember going up. You were like, you were like, it's just one. It crawled somewhere else. It's fine. I'm there. Like, oh my god, we need to go.
Do you know why? Do you know why we came up with that lie? It's because we had Bible study. Our friends were there, and then it was late or whatever. But then
also like you would take your time doing your hair. We were like, you can't finish your hair. We need to go.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. No, fair enough.
And then you booked it.
Cool. Lie about everything.
There was no rap.
Yeah, so we booked the Uber, went upstairs. I was absolutely terrified. Got my stuff, and then we got the Uber home. And I was talking to somebody on the phone. I was like, "Oh my god, Femma's got a right in her accommodation."
And then that's why we remembered. We forgot.
Yeah, we forgot that was
each other. We're like, "Oh my god,
she was like, "I wanted it."
We were like,
vanilla.
Don't
say that. So here's me thinking, oh my god, let me not tell other people there's a right in her accommodation. Meanwhile, at the phone, we're watching TV. You're like, she was like, "You're going to? Should we tell them? Should we tell them?" I'm like, "Tell them what? Like, this is the time like that's why I was like, I'm never gonna believe anything you guys say." So when they are telling the truth, I'll be like, "No, Marlo, like I did not ever believe anything you guys said. You guys were the girls who cried wolf. You were, honestly."
But sometimes we can be sarcastic and people believe us. Like,
that's the thing, you guys.
We're not even trying to lie or like we just say it. We don't know.
That's different. Sometimes people don't get. Sometimes when we have this banter, like we're used to being so sarcastic with each other. Other people think Femma's married. People think,
oh my god, there was so many
random things like I have a child or something, like just random, like, but it's very sarcastic, but at the same time you're thinking,
if you don't know us, then it's like,
I feel like me and Hadley, if there's like someone, if we're about to lie something, we need to like consult and have all of these things. Femma will say something so unhinged which won't even be true, and she'll just look at Fevin, and this Fevin will just know exactly. They'll just catch on, but like they just, whenever we read each other,
we lie about, like we make a joke, we lie about things, or we tell our friends, and then they're like, "Okay, let's ask Halle." And then look at Halle, and then
because Halle cannot lie.
She can't lie.
I can't lie. They'll be like, "Halle," I'll be like, "Huh?"
And she'll be like, she'll turn her whole face.
My thing is, I'm not bad at lying. Like if I have to, I don't like stressing people out. So when you guys always want to prank people,
oh my gosh,
and the prank is always stressing someone out, and I hate stressing people out. So you're like, when I see them getting stressed, I would be like, "Don't worry, but don't tell them I told you." I'll just be like, like you'll hide someone's, it's like, for example, hiding someone's keys, and they're like looking for their keys, like, oh my god, like where's it gone? You can see them getting stressed. Straight face. These guys have such a poker face. I'm there getting stressed as if the keys actually is like gone. I don't want the keys, I'm just getting stressed.
And there's a keys, I don't want to be a part of this. Oh, you guys, the lines are insane.
What was Moksha like growing up as a child? I feel like she was the caring, the serious, like the mother.
She was.
Because we're kind of similar, so I think.
You can't surprise her. That's something I'll always say.
My goodness.
Yes, so weird.
But the thing is, I'll forget stuff like that. So I remember once we were trying to surprise Fevin, and I made to the group chat on Instagram. Bear in mind, Fevin has my Instagram on her phone. So I'm messaging on this group chat. Fevin is seeing all these notifications popping up. She's not saying anything whatsoever. So she goes, "Oh, she knew the entire time." Oh my goodness.
We could never, when I say you can't surprise her, I mean in any way. Like you can't surprise her for her birthday. You can't get her something and then surprise her. Like I don't know how her brain works, but you can't also scare her either. Like I just done a good job. So actually, you're trying to scare her, she'll scream. She's the one, she's in on the joke.
I'm in on the back. I'm the one screaming. It's insane.
But I don't try to find out the stuff. It happens. It happens. I get annoyed because I genuinely want to get surprised. Like, I want to experience this. Like, I want to be surprised.
Were you surprised on your 30th birthday when me and Yodi tried to go down and make you breakfast?
Nah, she heard us.
She's made surprise.
Oh my goodness. Because you came, it's like, oh no, tell me, because you know how I wake up early, but they're like, no, tell me, like, have an extra light. But I did not expect the things they did.
Yeah.
I knew they were
There was
doing something, but I didn't know. They made me breakfast, they got me flowers,
pancakes.
cards, like
We were 11 and 10.
yeah, like it was really nice. Like I really appreciate. I still have the cards because they wrote so much in that. Like
Feven has attachment to like she's sentimental and that kind of thing. Yeah.
I still have my cards.
Aw.
Legit.
I'm
I've
not a
got my
card
cards
person.
as well.
I'm not a
I have
card
a card
person.
box.
So do you actually?
I keep all my cards.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's why I don't do cards that much anymore. Like for
Yodi
birthdays
does
and
not
stuff.
care about things, and it really annoys. Not care about. She does care about stuff, but
She doesn't hold the same attachment that we do to
Like,
things.
you know, like, for example, if she wants something, right? Oh, I want this, right?
No.
Recently happened. She's like, I want to get this headphones. Yeah. So she.
What did she do to the headphones?
Listen.
Before I strangle her. We don't condone violence.
She saved up money. The headphones. Yeah.
She's been saying she wants headphones for so long.
Yeah.
Longest time.
Yeah. And she lost it.
That's why she was on the train today like this.
Yes. So she lost it.
Lost it.
Yeah.
Guys, how many phones has your D had? Trick question. How many phones has your D had growing up? I'm gonna tell the story.
Which one?
You and Megan. We need to get her phone.
Oh my
In school.
goodness.
And
They
Megan said,
would
where's your phone?
stress me out. I don't think she even remembers this. So like we were in the same secondary school, obviously. So I was just a bit of a mess in secondary school anyways. So I'd be walking in the corridors. I didn't know they were her and her friend. I didn't know they were like directly behind me. And they opened up my bag, took my pencil case out, closed it, took my phone from my pockets and my blazer. I had no idea. I'm just walking down the hallways.
From her blazer. We took her phone.
Was she wearing
From my blazer. In school.
Blazer?
Yeah. She was wearing the blazer.
They were behind me. They were in my blazer.
Yeah,
That's how,
I swear.
like, she was walking and we put our hand in, took her phone out of her blazer.
And she just did not.
And my
realise-
phone, my pencil case. So I'm now in like geography class. I sit down, I open my bag. I'm thinking, my pencil case. I didn't see it. So I'm like, I probably left it in the previous class. I'm like, it's fine. I'll just go get it after class. I borrowed a pen. It's now getting late. You know, in class you get a bit like restless. So I'm going in my pocket. I can't find my phone. I'm going in this pocket. I can't find my phone. I'm looking in my bag. I'm panicking at this point. And Feven's class was like right opposite mine or something like that. I was like, I can't tell if I've lost my phone. I don't know what to do. So I'm trying
She lost the phone recently as well.
She does it often.
Yeah, so I'm like panicking, and then we leave, and we're about to. That was like the last class of the day. So I was like, "What time is it?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. Ask your friend." Like, I don't know, because I don't have my phone. But me and I'm like, I don't have my phone. So Feven goes, "Oh, can I have a look at your phone?" She knows exactly what she's doing because she's got my phone. She goes, "Can I have a look at your phone?" I'm like, "Oh, somewhere down in my bag. I don't know where it is." I don't know how to hide this from her at this point, so I'm now panicking. We get almost home. Her and her friend. We're about to separate from her friend. Her friend goes, "Is this your phone?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Oh my goodness." They traumatized me.
She wouldn't talk to me like on our way home. Like
She just like
walking so
because I was
fast.
so panicked.
She usually is such a chatty person. Like I get tired when we're walking home, like from school. She's like talking and talking. I'm not listening. Right?
She's like walking in front of me. I'm like behind her, like
She's still talking. Yeah. But that day she did not talk, and I was like, "This is what I need to do to shut her up." Like, and I need to do this more often. You know, a lot of times, like you get home and then she'll be telling my mom the same story. And I'll be like, "What? This happened?" And she's like, "I told you, Kadam. Like you didn't even listen to me." And then she gets annoyed. And I was like, "You're learning to get it, son." And then she'll be like, "Mom remembers everything she tells her. She actually sits down and listens to her."
She remembers.
Yeah.
This guy on the phone with I'll be like, "Oh, so this person." Fem's like, "How do you know this person?" Like,
Where did you find
out this? I can't remember.
It was insane.
Even ask her about her uni. I know every name of all her flatmates.
No, yeah,
Properly.
Good.
The only person she pays attention to is you, Mokshe. Her Mokshe.
I zone out a lot. Like,
She does.
I zone out a lot. And when people talk, like even my friend, she'll be like talking to me and I zoned out and she's like, Feven, like she'll be smacking me and I'm just like, a lot used to, but I'm better now.
Yeah, much better. I actually forgot,
Yes, and was not herself said I love us good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the older sibling thing that they keep putting on us.
Honestly,
You guys are forgetting I'm Yodi's older sibling.
She is.
You know the difference between us is 3 months because of.
But you'd think Hannah's so much older than me, like because of her maturity level and
we
just.
babied you when you were younger. I'm gonna take partial responsibility because basically
you need to say how you babied her, but
Oh my goodness.
because I always wanted a younger sibling. One thing is whenever we used to leave and cry before we separate, I think did I give her Shangul late?
Yeah, you did.
Because
the one that had hair on it. You also bought me
Because it was your
another one.
favorite Ashangul lid, so it's
So
like
yeah,
a white
you
bag.
keep it.
Yeah.
But like your D was my child. She wasn't my younger sibling. She was my child. I think I
Yeah.
just had this thing like I love nurturing. Maybe it's an early child thing. I wanted like a sibling, so I really
It
nurtured
must
your
have
D.
been.
And your D was small, like
Oh my gosh,
petite.
yeah.
Very very petite. Like for her age, like we were 8. She'd get on the bus as a 5-year-old. Like
Yeah.
but like she was so petite. Like I could carry her. I would make her learn dance routines.
That was
We did street
shows, no?
yeah,
Oh my
but like
goodness,
honestly,
yeah.
street dance, we were there. No, we actually, I could carry her. We could do acrobats, so like traumatized her, but I could carry
She
her.
used to like flip me about. She used to be like, move your leg like this. We used to do
Yeah, to left feet. I'd be like,
And they used to perform for the family.
yeah, we did until one traumatizing day.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Say the traumatized.
Am I allowed?
that's insane.
I was beating around the bush because I thought she'd kill me for saying this. I won't go into too much detail, but on that fate, I didn't know that was the last day we'd do that, you know?
Yeah.
Was that the last day?
That
So
was
you never did it again after
did
that?
anything with me ever again.
Yeah.
Like,
She traumatized. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
So Doodle we used to sing. I used to make her sing and we'd sing for everybody. I don't know where those recordings are, but they're gone, which is a good thing. So then we upgraded from singing to dancing. So when we were doing the dance trick, I don't even know what music. I think the music was in my head. So there was a beat in my head. I was like, I was like, right, your D, what you're going to do is put your hands on the floor and then I'm going to pick up your legs. Wrap your
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to pick you up.
Carry you around.
She wanted to carry me, flip me somehow. I don't even know what she was trying to do. What she was.
Where were you in all this?
I was there.
She's watching the recording.
Trevor was never a part of this.
This was before Snapchat memories, which I'm so thankful for.
Honestly. Oh my goodness.
So thankful. So anyways, we did it, by the way. We were able to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
That I choreographed and it worked. The only issue was, I think when we were practicing, I don't know if we practiced the day before, but she was wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
She was wearing these baggy tracksuit bottoms.
Oh my gosh.
And then we went downstairs
To perform.
Yeah, by the way, the family usually it's just my auntie or my mom or someone. Like it's just
Yeah.
but,
This
one of
particular day?
there was one of our uncles was there one day and he's
gosh.
never seen our performances and he was 6.
He was so excited. He was like, oh my gosh, like we're all going to get a
I'm going to
performance.
see this show.
Honestly.
There was a bit of dancing. It wasn't just the carrying. There was a bit of
Yeah.
dancing. So we did the 1, 2, 3 step, right, get down to do the carrying. I pulled her trousers off.
She pulled my trousers
I
off
know,
instead of...
right? So instead of like pulling it back up, she was so traumatized. She wanted to get out of there. She took it off.
I ran upstairs. After that,
By the way,
I just want it all.
I was so angry.
She was about 7-year-old. Like, she don't know what she, I don't know.
I was so angry. I was like, my God,
she was so angry at me. Like I just remember, like she took it off.
I had to try shoes. But you wearing shoes or no shoes?
No, just
Oh,
like,
so she could just easily
yeah.
whip it off.
Yeah.
And she ran up the my little underwear.
I was so angry. I was like, never
reaction.
No one really cared. I
No
can't
one
lie.
cares,
I think, she was angry at me. It's embarrassing.
What were you doing?
She's like, what was like, you guys did you? It's okay. Like,
When I
but everyone was like, it was fine. It was
I
good.
think what it was is if your uncle, like that uncle, wasn't there, maybe it'd be a bit better.
she was been angry at me regardless.
Was
She
it,
was a little moody child. Yeah.
that's
I mean,
very true.
granted, I did traumatize
Did
her.
I
I'm
do?
sorry,
Why did you
but
pull the trousers?
She's trying to pick her up. I think she got too heavy, so she was like holding by her.
Yeah.
The trousers,
No, but like,
to lift her up.
I'm telling you, baggy trousers, petite girl. I grabbed. I thought it was her legs. I pulled, and it was just
It was the
everything.
most traumatizing day.
Yeah.
After that, never again. Never performed again.
Never again.
Like,
She
that was a
never.
sad moment.
Imagine you guys could have been on like Britain's Got Talent.
Honestly.
You know, I literally wish we had those videos to watch back. I used to make her sing like we had our
Believe I Can
go-to.
Fly.
Yeah, I know we can't even sing that anymore, but like, sorry,
We need to cut it out.
No. Okay. He's cancelled, but he wasn't cancelled back then. We used to love I Believe I Can Fly. We used to translate it into Amarinya.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
It rhymed. It actually rhymed. It worked.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, you guys had a fully childhood though.
We did.
We used to
Oh my god,
dress
there
her,
was so many.
remember?
Yeah.
Why? Into what?
Like, I didn't decide. Literally, I swear, we wanted this show called Keeping Up with Yordi. Like, because you know how she's confident and she's like,
she could have had her own show.
she could have. I swear she could have.
Open your show, please. Yeah,
She's
open
still
your own show now.
It's when she went to uni. It's one of like መጀመሪያ እንትን ያለችው. So like, I feel like she needed it because we babied her. She was incompetent, but it was not our fault as well.
Yeah.
We used to, and then aside that, because like we'd wash Manam and be like, you want to go wash your face? I'm like, should she be Fevna go? Should she wear this with this? I touching the better. I swear, we'd feed her.
Oh my goodness.
And because she's so like, come on. And
Yeah.
like, she's funny and like, you're like, oh,
Like she's like a little dog. Honestly,
Yeah,
like she's like my little kid.
Aww.
I feel like you pictures of us. We like
Definitely.
sleep.
I feel like you kind of had the same dynamic with your siblings.
Yeah.
Like, it was very much like similar.
Yeah, we had
I think
those,
that's why.
yeah.
Well, any funny stories from your childhood?
Not really. I was always the quiet child.
Really?
Yeah, I was very quiet.
Okay.
I was very like to myself.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really mingle.
When did you feel like you came out of your shell?
Uni, I think.
That's what.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I used to always get like my dad used to always bully me for it. He'd be like, "You do me after this. Like, have a bit of confidence. Why are you like this?" And then the bullying got to me, and I was like, "Oh, why am I not confident?"
Yeah. Like,
And then I remember that when we used to do school plays,
Yeah.
like the first time when we did school plays, like nativity, they made me the donkey. And then my dad was like, "How can they make my child to the donkey?" And then he was like, "Next year, you have to be something else." So the next year, I was the narrator, and he's like, "Okay, you're working on the ladder."
You worked your way
Yeah, and then in year 6, I was married. He was like, "Wow."
Yeah, they did.
And then I was like, "Oh, this feeling's nice." It's like being confident, and I was just very shy, and I just didn't like. I was so shy, even to my own family. I was shy.
Yeah.
But then I went to uni, and I was like, I have to pattern up. Like I can't be shy anymore.
I think especially because you moved out as well.
I think that
actually be
forced
like,
me to
okay,
have more self confidence.
Yeah,
but I was always a shy kid.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm very quiet.
I was quiet as well. In places I was, because I'm an only child. So I was imitating it. I feel like I was chatty in class.
I think when we were younger,
You were chatty in
two
class,
were
though?
very chatty.
Yeah.
Like last,
Yeah,
But then when we were in a group of like kids and we have to socialize, like if you go to a function or something and there's a lot of Habesha people, I didn't, because like for me, like they were my cousins, but like Leila would, whenever we'd go somewhere in London, if I didn't know anybody, I would just be kind of like by myself or with my mum or someone.
I am very quiet.
Yeah.
But I like to meet new people. Like, like you know,
Exciting,
in school, like when we go to like when I went to uni or when I started like A levels and stuff, like I'm excited to see new people, new faces.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so cool. Like if they speak to me, I speak to them. So a lot of people say like I look mean. Like,
oh my gosh,
unapproachable. Yeah.
You definitely have a resting face. I feel like
once they start speaking to me, they're like, "Oh, you're actually really nice." And I would never thought I'll be friends with you.
Yeah.
So
I think it's because we're shy.
And then you two, like
you said I could talk to a brick wall.
No, truly, I could talk to anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I remember we were in a lift or something like that. I just started talking to someone and these two were like, "Minna,
You can talk to anyone."
Context. They were moving me into my accommodation. She was determined. Because like one thing about me is like sometimes I'm not. I became more outgoing in uni this year.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I just don't really feel the need to talk to people sometimes. And now she was like, "I'm determined. You're gonna meet people in this flat. We're going in the lift of all places where you can't escape." She went, "Are you guys moving in as well?" And they went, "Yeah."
But that
was the longest minute of my life.
You know how awkward it was? The lift is gone. We're just like, Because some people do chat in it.
Yeah, oh yeah, how about you?
Yeah. And then they were dead silent. I was like, you're a demon, no? But we were going, you're a demon. And then like, it's so awkward.
Yeah. But I could just talk to anyone.
Even like when we get into the Uber, she just talks to the driver.
Yes. Because like we have to, she doesn't sit in the front. She's in the back. I could be, so let me finishing usually I'll go in the front. I'll be like,
I just left. I think we just need to learn to be comfortable with awkward silence.
When people grow up, they like when you were once quiet as a child, when you grow up, you become the louder. But you've carried that throughout your life.
She did have her quiet times though.
Has she?
Definitely. Yeah.
Why?
Definitely.
No, like what Fevan told you earlier on. Whenever we'd be downstairs socializing with all the kids, if we're with cousins, like Yetalamad and so what? She'd socialize. Your social battery runs out. Everyone knows this. She's upstairs by herself.
Okay.
She sleeps early and she used to sleep early and wake up late. Like that's
when she has her quiet moment time, like she'll be paper, pen, I don't know what she's doing, drawing something, and when you try to talk to her, the way she gets angry, like she'll be like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Like she's 8 years old, 7 years old, and she'll get so angry.
By the way, she's half asleep at this point. Like, when I say that, she's not like waking up to, but she doesn't really remember what she said to you the next day. And I'm like, she was so mean to me.
Do you know what it's like? I don't know if you guys have seen that TikTok where it'll be like when I'm having like my iPad time and then someone just wants like yapping. That was like the frustration of the anger that I would feel. I was like, I'm in the middle of something. Like, it's me time now, like leave me alone, I'm done socializing. So I think it was just like that, to be fair.
When I was younger, I feel like now I'm definitely like, I'm like, okay, cool, I understand, like sometimes I'm used to socializing, I'm not. But when I was younger, I grasped onto any sort of like socializing I could, especially with them. Because after I left them, I was going home alone. So it was like, I need to make the most out of every second. Meanwhile, you're just like, it's my quiet time. Why is she talking to me?
Alone.
I'm like, I'm going to have to get in a bed with her now. Like, because it was always me and Yurti, and Fevan and our other cousin.
That's very true.
So I'm like, she's just cussing me out. I have to get in bed with her now.
And she's like, Yurti, okay? And then she grabs her ears.
And she has an obsession with these.
Please, I don't know whoever's watching this. It's a thing now. TikTok has made me feel better. Before TikTok, I was convinced I was the only one since a baby.
I used to have a friend in uni as well that used to do this, and I used to think like,
but to herself or to other people?
Not to other people. And then I used to think, when Hannah did it, I'm like, is this a thing? Like, what's going on?
It is. TikTok has brought us together. I don't know anyone personally, but it's a thing. Just like to rub ears. I've seen a baby do it on TikTok, so I'm like, that baby's going to grow up and be like me.
Shall we play a little game? Yes. Let's play. Who's more likely?
Oh my god, this is so funny.
So I'm just going to read the statement and then we point to the person that we think it relates to. So who's more likely to pretend they don't speak Amarinya just to avoid conversation?
Wait, are we pointing? To avoid conversation? I guess to avoid conversation. Let me think about a situation.
Now that I hear it, I hear it.
Because I feel like I do. Like she doesn't.
Actually, I do it. Sorry.
She can't be able to socialize.
Fair enough.
Me and you feel bad.
Guys,
you are one of them people. Even if you don't like. Sometimes some people think we're Eritreans as well, and it's like, we listen, and then afterwards we were like,
sorry, Amari.
I was literally about to say today's the example. I said, is this, by the way, a really good example of this, my name on Uber is H. No indication of my ethnicity. So is this, I saw the thingy, the name, I read the name, I saw the person, so is this for H? I got in the Uber, there you go. It was during the journey, he was like, do I know you guys?
He was looking like, and then Halle tapped on the phone like, it's Habesha, by the way. Because Yurdi sometimes
always says really weird things about Marinya. She got in the car and went, smile. I don't know what it was even about.
And then Halle put Habesha. And then
she went, like, oh. And yeah, me and Fevan know it from the ear.
And then he was just looking.
Does his face not look Habesha?
And then I swear, I just don't pay attention.
And then, so we were going, he was looking, and then he finally said, are you guys Habesha? And we were like, yeah, you guys from Sheffield?
Oh.
We're like, yeah.
Yeah, we were shocked.
How does he know?
And then
Say, how do you know Sheffield?
he goes like, yeah, he's from Sheffield. And then what did you say?
I was like,
oh, this is my village.
no, I was like, oh, I thought we were unique. He was like, you're not unique at all.
I'm
And I was like,
what
okay.
what did Sheffield do to you?
Because he said, I thought that was for you.
I was like, do you not know him?
Oh no, he said it in
And then
English. He said, don't
starts
you
speaking
remember me?
Yeah, and
He
then we're
probably
like,
knows you from
no.
somewhere.
And then he starts saying Tigrinya, and then we're like, oh, sorry, we only speak Amharic. He goes, oh. And he goes,
He was like, yeah, to Nasser. He was going wedding.
Oh,
We kept saying a name. We were like, oh no.
And then I think you got us confused.
She was
Something
someone
else.
But yeah,
who's
sorry.
more likely to dance whenever they hear Ethiopian music? You, if I can't pick myself, you.
Okay, but I did. We will definitely pick you. Oh my goodness.
Who's more likely to wake up late and miss Kandas?
You guys, can we actually?
No, you're D.
Yeah.
She's so disciplined.
I
now.
was
so
No,
disciplined.
We're bad now. We wait.
You're not that.
No.
You two are the best.
Compared to her, no. Yordi's really disciplined.
I have to go. Like, I will never miss. I can't.
Yeah.
I
Like, I am physically ill. Like, I can't get out of bed.
She's like,
And I was
get
like,
up.
she's like, get up.
Wow.
We are going.
And I'll get up in the morning and I'll be like,
because,
how they
you
go?
know, it's like you have to be there before Kandas
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
as well.
That's
Like,
bad,
it's
yeah.
like 4 a.m. Yordi's up. Like, get up.
Wow.
But I hate waking up in the
Is it
morning.
because we're doing so now, or is this your thing?
No, it's not. It's just been.
I don't know.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
It's because we're doing so.
I think what happened?
Was it for Musk?
And our friend one time he saw us like it was just አሃዱ ሊባል ማለት ነው ሲል and then እዛው ቆመን ልንገባ ስንል አሃዱ ተባለ ማለት ነው. He said, I don't want to see you coming to church after አሃዱ ሲባል ቆማችሁ እያወራችሁ when አሃዱ ሲባል you must be in church. Start
just
ቆማችሁ. And then after that I think I was traumatized. I said never again. So now we're up like before አሃዱ ሳይባል መድረስ አለብን.
I think we just say you because you just love sleep. And I
guys, basically before when I was at my accommodation they used to make me sleep over on Saturday for Sunday because obviously they are not going to make up to that.
We're not. We need to paint the full picture. I am short story long. Her accommodation was a walk away from church. Yeah, let's just say this.
Yeah, it was close.
Our house, like, it's a whole bus journey, and there's no Artley bus here, and we have to go Uber.
Yeah,
but we still made her sleep at our house because we couldn't trust. Sometimes,
There was one time
when we got
when I slept over. No, when I slept at my accommodation, and then it was church the next day, and then I actually just slept, and you were all calling me, and then I woke. By the time you finished, that's how I was like,
oh, you should call.
There was a time when we stayed in her accommodation, and we thought we're gonna wake up early.
I'd been having like exams, so I was like revising late at night. We were all doing work. We got tired, and then we slept.
She turned off the alarm.
The alarm went off. She turned off the. You're like, I woke up 7 o'clock. Then I looked at the time. I was like, guys, 7 o'clock, guys. We're missing Kandas. I'm like running around. She wakes up. She's like, oh yeah, we got dressed. We left.
And then me and Fevin are going, oh my god, who set the alarm? Why didn't we set the alarm? Why didn't the alarm go off? We are so confused.
You guys forgot.
It's not because it was Kandas. I turned off the alarm regardless.
Yeah, it's like a natural
literally, it's fine.
You two relating with each other.
It's a natural instinct.
I turn it off when I sleep, regardless of where I'm going. So that's why I need to set like 5 alarms for it to keep going. So these lot set 1 alarm. Of course, I'm just going to switch it off and go back to it.
And then she goes, she said, I switched off the alarm. I'm like, what do you mean the alarm went off? She goes, yeah, what time? 5 a.m. And you turned it off? She goes, yeah.
She was like,
we were screaming out. We were like, what was wrong with you? Like,
because I want you know what they started to do, start to alarm. You tell on your phone.
And then we used to put it like somewhere else.
Like, her alarm. It was the most. It was the most.
It's like that dude, like that horrible. Again, wow, I need to like wake up.
Yeah, but she doesn't even hear the alarm, let alone this little singy song.
If I
sleeps as well, she's like,
I can be in a different room and the alarm's going off. I get angry. I can't turn off the alarm.
Yeah. When I sleep.
You sleep, yeah, definitely.
Your both go off and I can't hear it.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to start a heated argument with the elders?
Oh.
She's a brave one.
No, I
just
just
She would.
I hate feeling misunderstood. And I
that's
hate
Heidi's biggest
when
thing.
I say something. No, because like if I think something like look I'm like, guys,
You're
please,
gonna
like,
say
we
you're
have
gonna
to-
speak on it.
Feaven, you could tell her like you could be like to Feaven, you could say anything. It could be obviously wrong. So she doesn't catch that. There's no point arguing.
Yeah, especially if it's a person that you know they're stubborn and they're not going to understand your point of view.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I arguing? Why am I wasting my time with you? I'm like, if that's what you believe, feel free.
I'm like, no, you need to understand why you're wrong, where you went wrong, what the correct answer is.
She has that kind of thing.
Let's go back to the history. Yeah.
Let's mention this. This one,
do you know why I put it up first?
she knows the person is right, but purposely just to annoy the person. She'll be like, why? She goes random scenarios.
Do you know what it is though? I don't like confrontation. Like if I was having argument with someone genuinely, I would walk away. Like if it was an actual confrontation where like
Really?
I don't like confrontation. I just feel like okay, have it your way. But if it's a joke,
she drags it. Our friend, she's one of them likes to make a point as well.
Yeah.
And this one, she would not let it go. And I'm like, that's it. You gosh. And then she's laughing the more. And that makes her more angry.
Yeah.
You know, so many.
sometimes I know they're right, but
They get up and then she's like, yeah, I believe you.
I'm not confrontational in school or anything. I was never that kid that piped up. But in familial settings with friends, people I'm used to, if I feel like I've got something to stand on, I'm gonna stand on it.
Yeah, definitely.
that's what we say like at the beginning. Like she's not scared to say whatever, even if it's an elder person or whatever. She'll be like, our parents will be like, I can't be bothered. Let's just let them have it. She'll be like, let's talk.
She's like, you need to understand the context.
Oh, I hate bottling things up. I'm like, I've upset you, you've upset me. We can't beat around the bush because it's on my mind all the time. I need to get it out here and now. Otherwise, I can't sleep.
I think when we watch it, we forget. Like we don't care. Like,
And then
it's long gone.
sometimes I don't forget.
She can hold a grudge.
I couldn't hold a grudge. Like not in a horrible way. But I just think about it. Like if we fought and you said something really horrible to me, I'll be like, okay, I remember that for the rest of my life. Then like you forgive each other. Then we're never the same. We can never be the same. I still have that. I'm like, okay, I can't be that close to you. You forget, you forgive and forget. And I admire you. You are so nice. Feaven makes excuses for everyone.
Feaven used to make my blood boil though. Because she would put us in this situation. She would introduce us to somebody or a situation, and she doesn't tell us the context. She wants us to come to the conclusion on our own. I'll be like, Feaven, you're not gonna, I don't like it. She'll be like, yeah, they did this to me, and then this happened, and then it's like,
and then I'm like, Feaven, why are you still surrounding yourself with this person? And she's like, yeah, glass has a name.
And I'm like, girl, nah, I couldn't. And my pride would never let me. Not even my pride. Like I just think I'd get frustrated. I'd just be like, I can't do this anymore.
That's what I'm saying though, because I forget it. I just don't care. Like tomorrow is.
By the way, it's not just associating yourself with them. You help people.
But
you help.
Feaven's the biggest help. She'll help anyone and everyone.
You'd be like, goodness, I'm like, Queenie, I don't know how you do it.
She actually has such a you'll help anyone.
We sign up for stuff.
Yeah.
Like
why are you signing me up?
We'll be like, oh, could you do this? I'm like, yeah. Hannah's looking at me in the background like,
I hate you.
She's like, why did you say yes? And then sometimes I have to like, oh, because Hannah's staring at me say no. I'll be like, yeah,
I'm not evil, by the way, but like,
I get what you mean because sometimes we put ourselves through trenches for no reason. But do you know what it is? It's the like elder behavior. Like we always thought like we can take care of.
We used to, guys. We only came out of the trenches last year. Let's be so real, because it took you time to get out of that mentality.
And I think we always thought like, oh, as the elders, like
it makes me stress as well for not. I'm stressing, like for example, I have uni assignments when I have so many deadlines I need to get to, but I'm also doing like something else for that person.
And
I'm stressed. I hate to say no. Like that is your excuse. It's a perfectly. It's not an excuse.
We don't like saying no.
It's like I can't do it. For that. Or find another compromise. You guys signed yourself up for so much.
I got a bad friend sat me down and said, "You need to learn to say no." And then he's like, "How many no's you gonna say tomorrow?" Like, and then I had to like be like, "Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't." And I was like, "Guess what? I did this many no's today."
Because it got to a point where you were signing up yourself for like ridiculous stuff.
But I'm so tired. I've not slept well. I've not eaten well. I've not done this, and I'm like, well, why are you complaining to me? Like,
you signed yourself up.
Who's more likely to get lost in their own city?
Man. You got me there.
We won't even say much more about this.
Honestly, chill. I think
Even for another episode.
Someone's more likely to end up on a viral meme page.
You know,
I'm gonna say it will be for something so dumb. Like it wouldn't even be something that I would like purposely trying to be.
I know that's what you wouldn't purposely want to do.
Yeah.
You would just end up on it because you just
Can I say,
Oh my gosh.
No one go through her camera roll. They will go. Like, it's just our pictures and people pick up her phone. So, like,
she stopped now, but when we were younger, it was so bad.
Who's more likely to turn every small mistake into "this is why I do everything myself" speech?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're so independent.
You know, the point is kind of scary when people point at you.
Sorry, I'm gonna be an advocate for my sis. Because no, I'm saying like that example is about them too.
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
But do you know what it is about her? Like, she's so independent. She knows how. Like, she likes to get things done the right way. If you like, it was a mess up from Tarek Butler. Let me just do it myself. She's like, let me just do it myself.
You're the same.
Yeah, I'd rather just do it myself. We don't want the disappointment thing. That's the thing we don't want.
Do you know, like, one of the time when we were organizing things for your birthday, we were like, they're not going to satisfy us the way we wanted. So we were like, we did everything. We were like, you and our cousin, our other cousin, we were like entertained. Like,
You just have to distract.
to make sure
You
that
guys
like,
are
she
so
doesn't find out.
gullible.
Like she doesn't find about this. So like just
Because
we
my
needed
dad
to
was
find.
doing a better job than them. He was like, come here, I need to like he was going, I need to talk to you about this. No, wait, stay here. I need to. I was like, oh,
I think distracting someone is so awkward
It's
sometimes.
difficult and awkward.
It's really awkward because sometimes
You're
it's like,
intentionally doing it.
yeah, because like she wanted to go downstairs. I was like, no, honey, like, come. She's like, but why? I'm like,
And
I
by
don't know.
the
Like,
way,
how'd you
it's
stop her?
do you want to know how gullible I am? I wasn't at this to go downstairs because I wanted to see what you guys were doing. I wanted to get something. I think I forgot to mail a post for someone, and I was like, I need to get it. I need to quickly run to the post
office.
Not the office. What do you call it?
just the box.
The mailbox.
Yeah.
It's like, if I do it now, they won't notice. Let me quickly go get the bit and teacher. I'm like, I need to do it before they see. So I ran in, I passed through the doors, and I'm like. And you guys literally dropped the blues. You went, these useless.
Not doing things.
Oh my goodness.
This is why we say let's do ourselves.
Yeah, honestly.
They didn't ruin the day. They didn't. I was so
Oh, it was such a
confused.
cute day.
Her doing extra stuff at the gym because we told our
I know.
family friend he came to sleep over and then we were like he was messaging us like she's doing this now like what's happening yeah he was just like he was messaging us going like I'm making her do extra this I'm showing her to do this bless him he was really trying
what he did. I genuinely didn't know this, right? So me and him were like obsessed with the gym at that period of time. And he must have been like, oh, can you help me do this? And I was like, surely he should know how to do it. He was like, how do you do the Romanian deadlift? I was going, well, I guess if you do that, I'll demonstrate. Because he's going, oh, I usually don't do that. It's like I was going, yeah, sure, I'll show you how to do it. He's like, which one do you think I should do next? I genuinely thought he would in my house.
He tried. He did the best out of
He didn't even take any credit. Genuinely, he was just chilling.
He was so he's like, we're coming now, like he's nearly ready. Like, what do I do? Do I make a stand outside? Like, and then we're like, you're dear.
Clueless. Oh, also, it was me, him, and Fevan's friends. So like, I was talking to her while he was. I wasn't that clueless. I was talking to her while he was messaging you guys. I just thought he was just on his phone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Who's more likely to respond to a serious problem with "it is what it is"?
I feel like I'm so unbothered with things.
Oh yeah,
I'm so unbothered.
to the point where it really gets under our skin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
But like, you're the why? Like, you know, let's talk. It really.
Can I tell you what Fevan does when Yodi does something? Like when Yodi does one of her dumb mistakes. I'll go to Fevan. I'm so stressed because that means she's got. What can we do for her? And then she goes, I told her when this, and I tried to beg her, and she wouldn't listen to me, and I'm like, okay.
I guess I'll leave that.
I do like when I'm trying to make my point to her, like why whatever she did was wrong. She's like, yeah, but it happened. It is what it is. She's like, but it happened like a whole lot. And I'm like, it's not even going in, and I'm talking, and so I have to go and rant to Hanley. And it's like, yeah, I know. Like, just leave it. Like, just like, yeah. But I'm like,
I think I was going to say, I don't like ጭንቀት, I don't like stress or whatever.
I don't like stress too.
But the only time that you'll really see me stressed is over like uni or like academic.
And she carries that enough stress for us.
Yeah, no, that's like normal daily life stuff. I'm like, dude, like there's worse things going on. But like let it be.
Because I don't know, this morning I asked you, maybe not you, I asked you something else, but I said like, oh, what's a quote that keeps you going? And then she's like, there's worse things happening in life. Like,
that's like my biggest.
She said that to me the other day, and I said, oh, real.
No, that's like my biggest things. I'm like, this tiny thing I'm like crying, stressing over about. Like let it
in
be.
The world,
I'm like, let it be.
It is
like I lost my headphones and like I had an attachment to it, but it was like I no, listen, I like grieved it and mourned it myself.
I'm still angry. Move on.
No, listen, I like mourned it and grieved it myself or whatever, and then I come to these two, and it's like the grieving process starts again. Yeah, I'm like, it really starts.
Do you know what
again,
I think? What triggers her is like, because I understand as well, because I have younger siblings. It is what it is. Fine, I don't stress too. Like it is what it is. But when it's something that
you shouldn't have lost it in the first place.
You shouldn't have lost it. And when it's something that you actually need to get done, it's like you can't just say it is what it is. Okay, what's next? What's the solution? This has happened.
Yeah, how are we
Tell me what's how you going to resolve this. That's what annoys me. It's like you can't just sit and sit down. Yeah. Because okay, how is it going to get?
What makes me angry is like you know,
I don't want you to stress.
You should be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I did this. Like, talk about it. Like, you're like, what happened? I'm like, Judy.
And then like you have to figure out, okay, how we're going to resolve the situation.
You know, I don't let her borrow things from me anymore because she lose it, and then she like, but I'm
But goodness. I do see the similarity in the carelessness, like when your D was younger, the things you would lose, and I'd be like, how? But why? But why?
Yeah.
Like for me, it's not so much after you've lost it, I believe it, but also like because at the end of the day, like you can't do anything about it. I'm not angry about it being gone. It's the if you cared about it enough, it would still be here. That's like that's my anger.
I was saying to you, how long have you had your headphones for?
I don't know. When did I buy it? 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
How long have I had?
Where did it go?
I don't know.
Because it's not AirPods, it's headphones.
That's what I'm saying. If you had an AirPod, I had mine for like years.
I've had
years when I was very true. And that's still here. And I'm just like,
it's an issue.
Yeah, I think it's because like commuting as well. I'm going from like train to bus to my friend's house sometimes, and it's like
causing a lot
and I'm just like my brain is just like not in one place, so it's like I can't even be a pinpoint. I said I had it here the last time this happened, so it's like
But speaking of like commuting, we didn't even say like what we do. Like,
oh my gosh!
We're gonna go. We're talking about uni.
Well, me and Multi finished.
Go on, start from the mug shit.
Shall we start with, let's start with the mug shit.
I did biomedical science in uni. And graduated now.
How does it feel?
In a way, sometimes you miss it because it's like you're still in that education system, so you feel young. But when you start working, it's like, oh my god, what do I do with my life now?
Yeah.
So it's really hard.
It becomes real.
Yeah, isn't it? Real.
What about you, Andy?
I had to think about it for a second. I'm going to talk about my gap year. I did a gap year.
I want you to talk about your gap year and the time that you went to Ethiopia as well. I forgot that.
Oh my goodness,
that was a whole
other life.
That changed my life. It did. Honestly, I feel like my life would have been so different if I didn't take my gap year. Because of COVID, I was the year that I finished sixth form in 2020. So my last few months of sixth form was like we didn't lessons stopped when you guys carried on lessons. Everything just stopped for us. And they just gave us our predicted grades. So I don't even count A-levels. Like my A-levels aren't mine, apart from my EPQ, which I actually did. And then
towards the end, towards results day, I remember in the beginning of the pandemic, you guys were like, oh, like prices, like tickets to Ethiopia aren't that bad. I'm like, yeah. And I think during the pandemic, I was very much like, I need to escape. I don't know why. I don't know exactly what I was going through, or if it was even a case of going through something or just adjusting to change. But I was like, oh no, like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, now's not really the time to go to uni. But at the same time, I'm like, I just really, really wanted to be somewhere where I felt like, not no responsibilities, but happy, I guess.
We felt suffocated. I remember we were on the phone and we were all just like,
quarantine quiz. And even like end of A-level and like school towards GCSEs and A-level really begun to stress me out. Like, I never used to really experience stress, but I was like, ugh, like I just always felt like killing them. But the place I associated with rest and comfort and just being free was Ethiopia, because obviously that was summer. I never really tied it with responsibilities and stress. So I was like, I need to go. Every time I would, because I just dream about being in Ethiopia. And I was like, cool, I want to go there. So in my heart, I knew that I wanted to go for a long time, but I never really said it out loud. And then we all convinced each other and then convinced our parents to be like, can we go to Ethiopia in the summer? It was during the pandemic, but we're not doing anything. So we all went. And then I think at that point, I already said I'm taking a gap year, but it wasn't like I'm going to spend the year in Ethiopia. It was like, I'm just going to take a gap year, but I want to go to Ethiopia now. So then I went to, we all were in Ethiopia together.
At the same time.
My mum was there. And then our cousin from America came. She left. Oh my God. And then she was going.
I had to leave.
She had sixth form still. So she went back, and then it was just my mom, me and Fevin, and then we went to Gadam together. That was a whole experience, first time in Gadam. And then they left. And then I was like, can I extend my ticket? I was like, can I extend my ticket? Then my cousin in London, who hadn't been to Ethiopia in 15 years, was like, I want to visit Ethiopia. So she left. My cousin came. And then I got the thing where instead of extending my ticket and my visa, I got the Tola Ethiopia thingy. So I'm like, cool, come for visa. My ticket became open. Then my mum and dad came, spent some time. My dad left. My mum and me were just chilling. At that point, it was pushing towards the year. Got my driver's license in Ethiopia. That's a whole conversation. It's a whole experience. Learned to live there, communicate with people.
You even worked there, didn't you?
Worked literally just living. Literally, everyone said, "Oh, like look at this Ethiopian citizen." Like my Maringa got better. I was going to church more often. Went to Gadam 2 more times. Went to Sibling many times. Got used to going Qaddasi more than once a week. It was just that's where my thing with church really, really, like when I came back to London, I was ready to go every week. And then when I went to Sheffield, I was like, right guys, we need to go. What's the church called? What are we doing? We had to ask a neighbour, like, what time does Qaddasi start? And then it was every 2 weeks. That year in Ethiopia just shaped. It just rebuilt a whole new foundation. Like had I gone straight to uni from school, I would have been a different person. I think
you would have missed out on all that.
Not even just my year there, but like,
did you struggle though, like to fit in
Ethiopia? Of course, after a while, I was like, I need to be some English. I need to be some. I missed the time. I think the first time I felt very emotional was Christmas, because we always make, even though we fast, we make a fake Christmas dinner. I missed that. I just missed like little things. Like I think the banter was different. I would always just complain about like not being able to fully relate to anybody there. And in my heart, in my head, I was thinking, I don't know when I'm going back, because at this point I don't have a return. I'm just there chilling. So I realized that, okay, I do need to go back, because wherever I go, wherever I live, the more I live there and I come out of the holiday mentality, I am going to feel suffocated and trapped. So that was a life lesson. I was like, it doesn't matter where I go. Before that, I had no passions, but I was like, you know what? I'm excited to go back and actually go to uni and actually find what I want to do, I guess. Even though now I'm not 1,000% sure, I would say before my trip, I was not a passionate person. I didn't see my future. Do you know people imagine their future? I didn't imagine my future. I didn't know what my future looks like, and I wasn't really excited for it. I think I romanticized life, but I was never excited. So I came back with like stronger faith and kind of excited for life. And even my dad saw it in me. He's like, every time I'll speak to you on the phone, you sounded different. You sounded more excited.
And you had so much life in you.
They became less stressed about me because they were stressed about me at one point.
But bear in mind, you spent a year there.
I know, everybody was like, you spent a whole year, what are you doing there for a year? And as soon as I come back, suddenly it's cool to go to Ethiopia. Everyone's going there for Christmas, everyone's going there for December. They're like, oh yeah, because before, I think there wasn't much to do either. Ethiopia has changed with times, but people would be like, an age. People would be like, all I do is go to my grandma's house and stay there all day. What do you guys do? We're like, I don't know, we just go, like, we find things to do, and like, we feel better as well. Like, we're not just going by ourselves. But people go, all I do is go to my family's house and I don't leave. Now there's more to do in Ethiopia, and it's more fun to go, so people go back home more often. And then I came back here. I realised I really do make a short story long because I've not even said what I study.
No.
I study business and management with psychology because it actually stood out to me. I like psychology, but I would never study it on its own. And I remember sitting in my house in London, and I was like, if everyone was like, you should come Hallam Uni in Sheffield because like at least we'd be together, but then you'd be able to leave home. And I was like, cool. So we were looking through the courses, and I was like, oh, this actually looks really good because at least it sounds like a career. Like, I mean, I know psychology is a career, but I didn't see myself in clinical psychology, occupation. I didn't see myself doing anything in psychology, but I enjoyed it as a subject in school. And when I spoke to the lady over the phone as well, she was like, oh, this is a new course. I think you're really, it sounds like it's enjoyable. I was like, okay, I'll see. And I like it as well because it's not exam based coursework only. I don't like exams, so which is very different to what you guys. None. I had one exam in the first year, but like after that, none. I also like I like maths, and I like finance and structure and stuff like that. So I like the business side of it, as well as the psychology modules as well. But yeah, so I did that. I do that in uni. I'm in my last year.
You took a gap year though? Not gap year, sorry. Placement.
Placement was good. I really, really like the people I worked with. I really like the company. Our friend helped me find
the company.
Introduced me to the company. It was an Ethiopian. Everyone called it the TIFF place, and I was like, I'm such a not argumentative, but you guys said how like I have to explain everything. So I'm like, no. So this is the name of the company. This is what they do. This is what they've done, and also the owner of the company. Explains. I love the way he explains things. He was like, right guys, like he's so passionate about it. I remember the first few weeks I was there, he's like, okay Hadley, there was a whiteboard behind him. He was like, this is how it is from the farm. This is farm to fork. This is the process. This is what happens. And I was like, cool. I really have to embody it.
You love structure.
And my dad loves to hear me. I went home. I said, this is from the farm. This is the process it goes through. Customer service. Y'all, I was getting cussed out in English and Damarenya and Tigrinya. Who would have thought?
3 different languages.
Getting cussed out in 3 different languages now. It was great and about conversations. But yeah, no, definitely. That year was interesting. But like in terms of outside of the customer management, it was more daily operations, daily tasks, and also marketing. But I did realize that I like creativity. When I do something, I do become passionate about it. But I think I prefer something a little more structured. Like I really, really liked the company, and one thing I realized is that I need to say that like I need something that I'm passionate about. I really like, because like I can yap about it all day. I don't mind. So yeah, no, I liked working there. It was a little far from where I lived, and that was so draining. But apart from that, like I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to work with. That's lovely. Because although like parts of it was hard, I'd be like, cool, I can have candid conversations with them. So for my placement experience, it was good.
Are you excited for graduation?
I know. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe it's in November, because I'm technically going to finish uni in May? But graduation is in November. No, it's almost done. Doing the dissertation now.
I know.
How about you?
I'm currently doing my master's. I did 3 years undergrad as a law student at York, and then I'm continuing at York, but I'm doing my master's and I'm doing international human rights law. It's going well, stressful, but it's okay.
Are you excited to be done?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, like, take us back to school.
No, a part of me is like, oh, I wish I finished in May and stuff, because my master's is a 4 year, so I finish in September. But I know that I technically finish in May/June, because from June to September, I'm basically just doing dissertation work. So I don't have to commute. I don't have to make that draining journey anymore. So I love that, honestly. Other than that, I love my course. I know it sounds cliche, but like, I really do love it.
That's nice.
I love what I do. I am passionate about it, and I'm glad I chose it.
I think you have to.
It suits you as well.
Yeah, I really love it. I enjoy it so much. Similar to your brother as well.
I know.
So,
Yeah. I don't know. I want to go back to uni. Like,
Did you say you do? Did you say you do want to?
This life is like something
we really enjoy though. Like you need to find passionate,
you do,
or else you're not going to enjoy uni.
But I feel like it's just when you're done, it's like what you're just left into this world, and it's like
figure it out.
You figure it out, and I'm like, figure what out? You're not guiding me. Yeah, like where's the criteria?
What's my next step?
It's literally like you're done. Here's your paper. Go. And it's like, go. What do you want me to do with this?
Yeah.
Especially like now in the time that we live, like it's so hard to get a job. Like
oh my goodness,
before you go to uni, you get a degree, you guarantee the job. But now it's like, does your education?
Everyone has a degree now.
Yeah. And even people that don't have a degree, there's so much more ways to make money nowadays. So you don't really.
There's so many people that have a degree, a master's, a PhD, a doctorate,
still just
no job, just
exactly. And then there's someone that's literally just a social media influencer.
And they will just
do you know what I mean? So it's like
job, they're sorted.
I think I can't. So see, I said to my dad, I really wish that like this route that we took is the only way I can feel validated. But I really wish I didn't have that mentality after doing an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
It's just the way we were taught when we were younger. I think the people that are just under our generation have so many opportunities because it is spoken about more. It is accepted.
Yeah.
And it's validated. Like for me, I'm like, if I don't get a degree in uni, then I don't really feel like I've accomplished anything. That's not the case.
It's not.
That's what I was going to say as well. Like, do you think the only way to success is university? Especially not nowadays.
Absolutely not.
No.
We're not saying don't go uni, guys.
I genuinely feel like having qualifications is important.
Yeah.
But there are so many ways to have qualifications now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I feel like going to uni is not just about the degree that you do. I feel like just being at university, it teaches you so much more.
So many
it teaches
life
you some like interpersonal skills. Not just the degree that you do.
Yeah,
it does.
No, absolutely.
So that's Yodi the other day. That what was I saying to you about like a degree? I was like, I have a degree. I have a degree. But I'm like, do I know anything? Sometimes I ask myself, and Yodi's like, no. She did her master's. She's like, no, you don't necessarily know any. She's like, her master's is where she felt more qualified than.
Yeah, because in undergrad it was like you're being taught these things. It's almost like you're just there to memorize everything.
It's quite sad to say you can get by in uni without learning things.
Yeah, truly. I mean, as it's.
Do you know when you're doing like a placement or like when you're working? That's when you learn.
That's the real deal. When you're out there, every like university course should have a time where like people actually work in the field for a bit.
Yeah,
like placements or whatever, like embedded into it, not like an extra year, but embedded into the course.
For me, it was for my masters. I've done 2 internships at the moment, and it was like I learned so many things, like interviewing people. I was talking to MPs as if they were on the same level as me. Like it was so crazy how many skills I learned by actually
being there.
Teaching
is just not enough anymore.
Yeah, it's not. It absolutely isn't.
And I think that's why the apprenticeship is just such a brilliant idea.
Honestly, because you're learning and you're working, you're getting that experience.
The company's paying you less than they would a regular employee, and you're still working. Like,
but you're still making some sort of money.
Yeah. Like what I'm doing with my dissertation has been the most impactful thing I've done in all my free. Literally, we are consulting an actual client. This company can use any of our strategies that we come up with, as I consulted them. They can actually use it and take it on board if they want, because we've conducted actual research for them for free. They can use it if they want. But knowing that I'm doing it for somebody is actually making me feel like,
They're responsible.
We're responsible.
Yeah.
We're presenting to them. I don't want to stand there looking like bread. Like,
It's like, how many case studies are you going to do before? How many scenarios are you going to get given before you actually get to do the actual
and it's much more important for you. Imagine representing. It's like you're going to have a first client. That's so crazy to me.
Exactly.
You have to have a first. If you're a doctor, you have to have a first patient.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You know, like at work, the girl that I was working with, she's like, oh my God, like we're actually running this. Like we're actually doing this.
Yeah.
Because like all the seniors and the manager were gone, and then there was just like a couple of us. She's like,
Do you deep dive in it?
yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm like, honestly, when you deep it, you're like, I'm scared. Like, but we're just doing it. We don't think about it. We just do it.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever like struggled being like Ethiopian in the UK?
Yeah.
Like what was your struggle like? And like maybe like
there's a
parents
struggle.
not understanding certain
Oh my God.
cultures here.
I think
it's shared experiences.
Yeah, honestly, no, I think for me, I never had like, not that I wasn't into like my culture or anything, but I think it was only more of like as I started to grow up that I started to embrace my culture a lot more. I think when I was younger, it's not that I didn't embrace it, I just didn't care about it enough to show it off to people, be like, this is my culture, everyone see, even though I made, everyone when I was like 7 years old dance to Ethiopian music. For me, it wasn't something that was like, oh, I needed to show it off, but it also wasn't a thing of like, I hate my culture. I just didn't really care. But I think it's now that I'm...
Time and place, definitely.
Yeah.
Never hated it, but I just never felt like I couldn't find a place for it growing up.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield and London is different.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very
different.
Very.
Especially
What do you
where we
mean?
lived, like it was white dominant.
Yeah.
So
In Sheffield?
Sheffield,
Yeah.
especially our area, you know how our area is.
Yeah.
And when we went to school,
Yeah.
like including Yordi, there was 4 ethnic people. Like I would say me, Yordi, and then there was another kid. I think he's from Zambia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
What year was he in?
Same year as 7, no?
yeah, the same year
Okay.
as me. And then there was another Filipino girl,
Okay, yeah.
and then
remember her.
there was like half Turkish, half white as well. And then that's the only.
That's it.
That's
In the
it.
entire school, bear in mind.
Teachers as well, right?
Yeah.
Teachers, of course.
There was this one picture, this school picture that you already brought back.
Oh my
Mahallein
goodness.
Yaskamatwat.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Yeah.
It looks like a black drop in a white
It
paper.
was so bad.
And then did she walk?
A neon orange headband that my dad had.
Not to
And it
wear
was
it.
like that I had as well. So it was like just bang on in the middle, all these white people, just one black girl with a bright neon orange headband. Oh, I've never regretted something
girl.
more. Oh my goodness.
You are the it girl.
I always wanted to be the main character, guys. But yeah, other than that, I don't feel like I ever struggled with like my identity as an Ethiopian in the UK. I think it was very just natural for me.
And I think I embraced it more going to church.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
And seeing you.
Oh my goodness, you were a big
On
influence.
social media.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love this. I'm like, I need to
There were
embrace it
stages
more.
though, innit?
Yeah.
Because there was like the struggle
Yeah.
when you were younger.
Mm.
Because there's also like, do you know when you're younger and you're embarrassed by everything?
Oh my
Like
God,
most at that age.
Yeah.
Then there's that bit when you're like growing up, you understand your culture more, but then again you put it in a little box.
Yeah.
So you're like, cool, this is the time to be British, this is the time to be cultural.
Yeah.
Then you get to a stage where you don't care. Like
Yeah.
and that happened when we met you.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is so normal. And then when you explained, one thing then of course was like when you were like, oh, I wasn't confident. My dad did all of this to build my confidence. So I thought before I got to know you that you naturally liked all of that stuff. But then when I saw like where it came from, I was like, oh, that's why it's important.
Yeah.
Like it really built your confidence.
Yeah.
It went past building your confidence and you've made something out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember for Amatwala when we came to your house as well, and your dad is like, oh, like this
With
is once in a
Jesus,
lifetime.
yeah.
You guys like celebrating Ethiopian culture together, Manamin, and he's trying to interview, and I'm going, no. Like I said, no, like I don't do this kind of thing. Like I'm too shy. And he goes, no, you need to be confident. He was doing the same thing to you, to me, and then he was like, no, guys, like you need to do this. You need to be confident. You need to be proud of it. Like I was just like, okay.
I'm not gonna lie though, I think it's really important to have that kind of figure in your life that pushes you to do that uncomfortable things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that turned out well for you.
I know. No, because like when I was in high school and stuff, like when my dad, he's very like outspoken. He does not care. He could go to the parliament and talk about it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Like he can meet anyone, he can talk to anyone. And I used to think like, because obviously at high school times, I used to be like embarrassed, like, why are you talking to these people? Like, why are you telling them about Ethiopian coffee? Like, why are you telling them about really? Like, why do they care about?
They don't care.
And he's like, why not? Like, let's embrace it. We should tell them. And people are like, wow, is that maybe like what happened? Ethiopian doesn't know. And I'm like, people actually like this stuff. And I went to like, and then as he like, you know, made me. Well, as I saw that, I was like, why am I not embracing it? Actually, if people are interested.
Why should I be embarrassed?
It's my culture, it's my identity. Why not? Like, I just don't care.
No, truly.
In primary school, though, it was like people didn't know where Ethiopia was.
Oh my gosh,
If they didn't know where it was, like it was just always associated with famine, bad image. And in my head,
did you not do it in RE, the famine?
Really?
I did it in RE.
I did it in geography.
I did it in RE.
Did you not do case study on Ethiopia?
I remember in secondary school, I only did geography up until year 8 because in year 9 we chose our GCSE options. And I remember there was this one geography class, like I would barely pay attention anyways. And on the board it was like low economic Manaman country, high Ethiopian flag was on I get it.
I think those are the reasons why we don't want to speak about like who we are, because we find embarrassed. Like people are those in a bad image. So just like you know, like the West Africans usually they don't mind to talk about.
It's not even minding. It's like their culture was much more established. As a group, they were more united. In my primary school experience was different to theirs because it's not that there wasn't enough black people. It's not that there wasn't enough. There was almost no white people in my primary school, and if they were white, they were like Eastern European. Black culture was very big in my primary school. That wasn't an issue, but the issue was like my dad told me this the other day. I don't know if I should say this, but he was like, oh, like you had a friend. I was very oblivious, and he said you had a friend that I think her mom said something like she must have made a comment like "Kadukrochu gar atuhuni" to her child. And this was supposed to be one of my best friends. And I was like, I don't remember this. And I think my parents were like very much like, this is what we talk about, this is what we don't talk about. And they clock things, but they don't tell me a lot of things. So he's only telling me this now. And he said that the mom said this. And he said, for some reason, and so they would always kind of make her go away from the other people who I was friends with as well. I was friends with everyone, and he was like, don't you remember so and so? And he said, I was like, Dad, I don't remember any of this. And it was like, so I wasn't really included. Even like the other like black kids didn't really, there were certain things I couldn't relate to. It's just simple cultural differences. Africa was so big, it was cultural differences, but there was one image for black and for Africa growing up, so I felt like I didn't fit into that because I go home and it's a different story. I didn't obviously relate to like other kids, but I didn't relate to some of the West African kids, and so it was just a matter of relating. I'm not going to say the struggle was worse or anything. It was just lack of relating. Then second,
it got to a point like where we like Ethiopian people or like East Africans started embracing the West African even like music.
We wanted to be like them.
We wanted to be like them because there was no one like us. We're like, oh, we don't fit in, so let's be like them.
We didn't have someone to identify with.
As we grow older and then we see our culture and everything, we're like, we have such an amazing thing going on.
If you ever got put on, I feel like it was when I was in late secondary school, because secondary school it started to become more like, oh, you Somali? No, okay. Where are you from? And they're like, oh, you look Somali. I was like, yeah, I get it. It's right next to Ethiopia. And they're like, oh, okay. And then some people knew it. And my surprise when people knew Ethiopia, I was so shocked. I was excited.
I still get surprised.
Really?
No, I do so because like at work the other day, somebody's like looked at me and then it's like, oh, are you from Eritrea or Ethiopia? And I'm just like, oh, okay.
It's always Somali or Eritrea.
I think it's become more natural now though. I'm not as shocked as I was before.
One thing is like, oh, have you seen the jokes where it's like, if ever you meet a Habesha person, just go Habesha? They'd get so excited. Like,
oh my goodness.
Because we're just not used to being, anyways, we're not used to being recognised. But now it's very, very normal. I think it's much more normal than it was when we were growing up.
I think it's weird because
and social media as well. It has had a big impact. So like now for our younger siblings, like Novel and
definitely.
I feel like they embrace
identity
it.
crisis.
They embrace it.
Yeah,
now.
they don't have it. They're not
Like
gonna
even
have
from
it.
a young age now, like they literally wear Abashak camis to school for like cultural day.
Yeah.
We would have never done that.
No.
We would be like, what the
And I don't remember what I heard in assembly, but I thought it was cultural day. Like they must have told us, oh, like don't forget on this day you're gonna wear like your own cultural clothes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I went home. I told my mum, "What, it's tomorrow?" I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. Guys, I walked to school with my mum and my habashak. I miss nobody else.
No one else was dressed.
No, but it's not even like cool. Mistakes happen. I don't understand why it was that big of a deal. My teachers thought nothing of it. They're like, "Oh, you look lovely."
No.
The other kids were walking around like, "What are you wearing?"
I was like, "Oh my god, you think I was naked?"
Wait,
like,
so it was the wrong day.
I was like, my arm was wrapped around my mum's leg.
No.
I still remember this, guys. And they were like, "What are you wearing?" I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, I would have gone home.
I was in year one. I was in year one. There was no. My mum didn't care. She was like,
I thought you were a bit
all day, guys, in school. All day I was wearing my habashak.
From like 8 to 3 p.m.
You calculated that. Yours was the same thing, like non-uniform day, but like it was like cultural day. And then like I said, it was more white dominant, so they just wore normal clothes in it. And then your day wore habashak kameez. I refused to wear habashak kameez, so I wore like regular. And everybody's like, "Oh, your sister looks so cute. I love her dress." And I'm like, no. I was like, she's not my sister.
What do you mean did? So
She wore it with confidence.
Yeah,
She's like, this is
she's
me.
all
She should.
Yeah.
No, I think some of like the cultural, like I think it was my friend from Ghana. She was like, it was in year one. I remember someone saying, "Oh, you look nice." Kind of, and during the day, I kind of forgot about it as well. I was only in year one, but I remember that first moment. She's like, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, guys, it was such a nice. I remember which dress it was. Like, it was such a nice dress. But to think the way someone looks at you can really change the way you view your own. Yeah. Now when we wear habashak kameez like to church and we get the bus home in London, it's such a long way.
Yeah.
People don't even look twice at you. No one cares. Honestly, we'll be on the train. No one cares.
Yeah.
It took so much though to be able to do it. People wear way worse. I don't know why we still feel that way.
Yeah.
My dad used to always compare it to like, the South Asians. Like I tied chumlas with Pakistani, so they wear it daily. Not even why are you embarrassed to wear
if I see them in their cultural,
you don't.
It's so normal.
You're just like, you don't think anything.
So why do you think?
And I was wearing, do you know the gold tillet one that we have?
Yeah.
After something we did, and I went back to my accommodation, I was wearing my long coat, but you could see the gold tillet. And my flatmate, I don't know where she's from, but she was like, "Oh my god, that's the same color as my sari." And I really like it. I was like, it's just normal. Like we used to make Ethiopian things seem so weta. Because we know the name of it in our language, we think it's nowhere else.
That's it.
And everyone is like, "Oh, like we've got that as well." And in shops.
They have it ticket max.
That's what I'm saying. Every time I see it on shows, I'm like, "Oh, it's the Masop thingy, whatever it is." I'm like, "Oh, that's it." I'm like, it doesn't have to be though. It's just like other people normalize it.
But I think because of social media now, I think we've grown a lot. But how do you guys feel like balancing like your faith, your culture, everything, knowing when to be like Habasha, knowing when to be
when to be a little bit
fitting with the British culture and then your religion, your culture? I feel like because you've got it balanced.
Yeah, I feel
you've got it balanced. Like you're good.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of, it might be a bit of a reach, but being in York in uni and doing I do law, but a lot of people are posh. They're from the south, and the way they speak to you is like proper English. So I'm from Yorkshire, so I'm like northern. I have a bit of an accent and stuff, and I realised like I have to dial it down a bit and speak a bit more posh, or just like them and try to fit in that way. And I feel like it's like that balancing your faith and your culture. It's like sometimes when you're with a certain group of people, you're like, you have to alter and change between, which identity am I gonna kind of present today? So I feel like, I don't know.
Especially with your D, right? Yeah. Whenever her northern accent comes out and you're like, where did this come from?
This is not it, guys. This is not it. But I feel like I can count on this hand how many times I've heard her full force.
Yeah.
I don't even understand. When we were younger, there was this one thing, this game, it's like My Little Monkey. And I was like, that my cousin in London was like, oh, you do the My Little Monkey.
Because then when we did it, like when Yordi did it, they were like, what? Like, what is that? How you speak? Like, what are you speaking?
Because on a regular day, you'll be like, my little monkey, but the way I would do it,
My Little Monkey across the country.
Yeah, and I would do it like that, and it was like such a shock. But I think uni especially made me dial that back a lot. So I kind of control how I speak, what accent I'm putting out, what identity I'm putting out. I'm like very aware of that now than I think I was before.
I mean, in terms of faith, I would say I think we all come from a house and like that we never were like forced to do anything. Our parents always say like, oh, like raising you could have been a lot harder. Like we're actually grateful not to toot our own horn. Religion was never shoved down our throat. Nothing, like in no way. But at the same time, like it's now we're older, they'll be like, oh, like we really did care. It's not that we didn't care. And they would truly like, but at the same time, they can't force us to go down a certain direction because they've seen the outcome on other people. Like a buggered. My dad would say like, oh, like when he was younger, like he used to get forced to kind of go and he just didn't understand what was going on. Someone else was he started taking it more seriously. So faith came to it. I would say we came to it on our own.
On our own,
definitely.
Going to church.
But like balancing everything, like your culture, your faith, being in the UK, education, like having to play so many different characters. How do you balance? Like I think people struggle.
I know,
definitely.
Yeah, but at the same time,
it's really hard.
I think it's like knowing what's more important. Because at the end of the day, what does your faith mean to you? Like, because the reason why I say I put that first is, do you know when you say like, oh, like I'm Christian, I'm Orthodox Christian, this is what I believe in. Like, if that's what you believe in, then it's life or death. Like this has to come first at the end of the day. And obviously we're human. Genuinely, the more we try to I remember from when we first started to like try to be more disciplined, and it's bit by bit. We've got like a friend that really advises us, be realistic. Like don't set unrealistic expectations of yourself. But when you try to introduce new habits into your life, the fatana is crazy.
Because I used to be like, oh, like why am I going through this when I'm like more close to God? Like why am I? And we used to speak to our friend. I ask questions, and then he's like, this is nothing. This is not fatana. You're gonna see more.
The more you try.
He's like, the more fatana you get, add more sigdat when you do salot. Just add 10 extra minutes
to your prayer. It was never from 0 to 100.
Yes.
It was like bit by bit to the point where
it was definitely a journey.
Like you can, and then it's never like just straight up. It goes down, it goes up, it goes down. But then if you zoom out, it's like it's slowly been going up. And it's like it's never going to be just a straight line. Yeah, definitely. Because, oh my God, sometimes you just crash, like burn out. That's the word, not crashing out. Like you just get burned, you just burn out. Like, do you remember the first fast that we did when we started the Bible study? We were like, oh my God, this song was actually good. Like when we got to Yabi song and then that bit where it's finished and then it's Semana Desta. Truly felt that happiness.
It was
I genuinely felt like
even doing this when we did it, we were so happy to do it.
We're doing every week. We come together. What's this week about? And we speak about that week.
It just made us so happy.
And we genuinely were like, do you know that like, I don't know, maybe it's because Memphis are happiness. I don't know what you call it, but like the happiness that you can't explain because nothing like on the outside has to be particularly going right. But like you just feel happier, like and there are times in your faith where you're genuinely coastation, you're not happy, and it's actually okay. Like you don't like, you know, the Bible teaches us that like Jesus wasn't always necessarily happy. He wept, he cried, he felt all the emotions, and we're not always meant to be happy. I think people that just go through life thinking like the pursuit of happiness, like just pursuing happiness, if you always try to do things that make you happy, like a life outside of faith, it's really hard because you're not always going to be happy. And then you rely on yourself and everything to be happy, and then
just all goes downhill from there.
Yeah,
We're not self-sufficient.
Yeah.
But faith teaches you that it's actually okay not to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's where like faith comes in. Like you lean on it when you're not happy. You never truly feel alone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think as well, the people you surround yourself with, that's so important.
Oh,
Yes.
I think we were able to push each other to...
I feel
Because
so
when you know
blessed.
everyone's going through it together, you're not doing it alone.
I'm speaking about it in more of the context of like being a mazammaran or agalgai, basically. I think sometimes just making sure that you're not forced into something. Like for us, we were never forced into anything. I feel like we took those steps towards, strengthening our faith or magalgal. I feel like we came to that realization on our own. We were never forced into it. So I feel like Sanagalagalo, just being in the church environment, I feel like we just, I don't know, it felt inviting and it felt nice and it feels really welcoming. But I think someone who might be forced into it, I don't know, they might
have a different experience.
Yeah. I feel like everyone has different experiences. So it's difficult to say overall. I mean, I think overall the church is welcoming, but everyone's experiences are different. So
I think times are different now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen... When I was in year 10 is when I started going to church properly. I had a friend, because I never used to... I went to a Catholic primary school, and then... Because like the church... There are quite a few churches in London, but I didn't know this one was this close to me. And when I saw my friend going, and she looked like she was like enjoying it. Sorry, I didn't associate church with enjoyment. And I was like, that looks really cool. And I never put myself out there, but she was one Habesha friend I did have. She was like, come with me. I would meet her and we would walk together. She would wear her Habesha kameez and we would walk to church. Like, I didn't go with my parents, but like I would walk to church with her and it was really nice. The church was really nice. That's kind of when it started, and it was a welcoming environment, but I wasn't an I wasn't like but at the same time, that's where it started. My expectations of myself wasn't that high. One thing I have realized now, though, is the more involved you try to become, the more things provoke you to anger. The more you try to do. And I think things that on the outside aren't confusing, delegating tasks or whatever, is the last to go between the shit gets confusing. And I think like basically, the more you're trying to do.
Like we said before, when we did Mazmur together, they said, oh, why don't you become Mazamran? And then we were like, okay, like we never thought about it. We just said, okay, yeah, sure. And then we were like practicing Mazmur Manamin, and then our friend was like, what do you think you're doing?
Thought about
have you thought about it? Is this what you want to do? Do you know the commitment you have to be? Like,
it's not just the people that stand there and do Mazmur. You're like, we used to think Agad Grot were just the Kahanat and Diakons. He's like, no, the person that locks the door and opens the door, the person that holds the key is Agad Grot. Like, you've got responsibilities.
And it's like, you need to know all this. You need to do business rat memar alabachu. Like, you can't just become mazammaran, like not knowing what you're gonna.
It's like satat anu memar, like merakat without actually doing the degree.
And do you know why you're doing it? Are you doing it for people? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for God? So we were like, oh, okay. We need to think about a lot. So even the Muslim we practiced or whatever we did, and after we didn't do it. I don't know.
Which is for the best.
Which is for the best. Yeah.
We felt so happy. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And then I think that's the summer that we went to Ethiopia as well. So we went to like a lot of like churches, we spoke to kiss and everything, and I think we were like, okay, we want to do this.
Not that it's shocking, but it's surprising because considering the hard work that you guys put in, another person might have looked at that and gone, well, I've put in all this hard work and I don't get to perform at the end of the day. So
but that's where the Agad Galot starts, because we always get told, like, whenever we're practicing something that, like, in the like you're doing it for God regardless, whether people are watching you, whether even if you're just doing it in your room by yourself, you are like, you are doing it wherever you are. You have to do it full-heartedly. So and one thing I realized that I think we're lucky. Again, I think there's more of it now as well in general. people are understanding the meaning behind everything we do. So like every Saraat in church, there's more agargalot than we think. Like it's not just deacons. There's timurt. There's so many ways that you can like offer your service in church. It doesn't have to be one way. You just have to find your way. And everyone's teaching, not just us, but the young people, the meaning behind everything. Because if you don't know the meaning behind what you're doing, you're very easily persuaded. One, why are you doing it? Two, you don't know why you're doing it. And you don't know how to explain to other people. I'm not saying you have to explain yourself, but it's nice to be able to explain your faith.
Like, even when you do something, it's like if you have an aim and an objective, it's like
there you go.
know the reasons why you do something.
Exactly. So like because we like day to day, people at work will ask me, "Well, why are you fasting?" Or like, "Why?" I don't have to talk about it, but at the same time, when you're being asked, it's nice to be able to explain the meaning behind it. Because the people like. ታከብራለሽ አንቺ ታስከብራለሽ to other people as well. Like, and they go, "Oh, I didn't know that," or like, "Okay, that makes sense."
Instead of just being like, "Oh, I just fast for the sake of fasting." Because my faith tells me to.
Literally, it just feels like, because a lot of people think that we follow rules, that's it. But no, like, it's for us.
There's so much more to it.
There's a reason behind every single thing that's
especially in Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
There's a reason behind everything.
Like everything.
You have to find, you have to look for it. Ask for it first,
and guys, please ask. Like honestly. Everything, ask. And the answers.
Always get an answer.
Like I remember when I first started going to church when I was in year 10, the priest kindly was like, "Guys, please can you like hold on to your children? I understand that like you're trying to focus on Qaddasi. It's nice that you're here. It's nice that you're bringing your children here. But during Qaddasi, this is what happens. This is what it means. You know, malak and fachon zargato, like isagdalu, like so this is what is happening during Qaddasi. You don't move, and please try and make sure your kids don't move." And I remember listening to that like, wow, like I didn't know that. Anything that you're confused about, like, why do you do this? I remember when we were leaving church and somebody was coming in, like, they're like, "Why are you guys taking your shoes off or whatever?" And then and when Diakon was doing like a presentation, like this annual thing, he was like, "By the way, we take our shoes off because when Moses went near the burning bush, he told him like, you're coming near the holy ground, not take your shoes off." Yana must have it's like.
But they thinking about it, she's like, "Oh, it's so unhygienic." You're walking around with your socks.
Good. In that moment, there would have been hostility. But when you tell them, "Oh, this is what we do. We remember Jesus and everything that we do." And we were like, "Oh, that's nice." And the other people think, "Oh, that's nice as well." Or if they don't think that's nice, at least now they know why we do what we do.
Exactly.
But
from your experience, like, what would you tell people that are like trying to get closer to like the Orthodox Church, like trying to come to church, but they feel like there's a lot of like judgment? Maybe they don't feel like they fit in because of certain things that they do. Do you know, like, people would want to come, but it's just like, oh, so many in there, like, I have piercings, I have a tattoo, I have this thing that church says no to, and I do these things, I listen to music.
One thing is you're doing it for yourself. If you come, you're doing it for yourself.
That's one of the biggest.
And also, everybody else there is doing it for salvation as well, even if they forget. That is why they are there, so they shouldn't be judging you.
I think as well, just to kind of go off on that as well, when you go in, there's 100% going to be some sort of judgment that's going to come towards your way. But I feel like
there's nothing to judge.
There will always be something.
You're just a new face, man, Nat.
I get the time. You get judged anyway. At work, at school,
wherever you are. You're always going to get judged. But I think just going into the church, finding the right people, surrounding yourself with the right people, asking questions. And it really has to come from deep down. You really want to be able to
that's what I believe in.
And pray about it before. Pray in everything. Whenever you want to do something, pray and ask God, and you'll get an answer.
And I think as well, like, just as like some people are born here, so they don't speak Amarinya well.
Yeah.
So sometimes going into Ethiopian Orthodox Church, it can be really overwhelming when you're hearing Ge'ez and Amarinya and you don't know these things. But, well, I don't know if everyone would know, but there's the church in America that do liturgies in English or Timurt in English. Like, I think in that sense, the church has become a lot more inviting and welcoming, even for people who aren't Ethiopian, say other ethnicities that want to come into the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. I think in that sense, it's very welcoming and inviting.
Yeah. I mean, lost my train of thought. It is inviting. I think one thing I used to think was, I have to ask everybody else what's going on because I'm not sure. But I don't think that's the case. I think you have to ask the right people and like that. I mean, I didn't know that there was a way to come into the church. I thought, if I bring somebody, I'm a bit stressed. I can't explain this to them. But I don't actually have to, and I'm not the person that really should. I have seen somebody that brought somebody to church and they introduced them to their Nisahabat, and they were like, this person wants to start coming. Could you help me? That doesn't mean that you've now signed yourself up for a commitment you can't get out of. You're there to learn. And that I remember them putting them aside and then them speaking. And then that's the environment you're meant to like ask questions, and then you timurt, and they teach you about the whole of like service, but not in once and not in an intense way. Genuinely, it's a conversation. You've not even signed up to have them as your confession father. They're just a person telling you, because they are equipped with the knowledge and like they will deliver it in the correct way. I can tell them what I know from my experience, but they shouldn't take my word from it because it is my experience. So these people explain everything to them, and then if they're willing to commit and start the lessons, then they do that. And then if they want to convert or become a part of the faith, they do. All of this isn't in a way that is stressful. I think it's what you make time for, and the time span as well. It's what you make time for. So it's doable. I used to think it was such a big thing, but it's doable. Kabar allo, but ingandamna kabado adella.
Hey guys, and that is a wrap.
Do you need the thing that goes
The couple things,
attached to that?
Basically.
Stick it on.
But yeah, guys, that is, I don't know how long we've spoken for, but it's long. It's long.
When you're editing, I'm sorry.
It's like 2 hours from now.
But no, it was nice. Thank you guys for coming.
No, thank you for having us.
Having you guys on here.
Really enjoyed it.
And if anyone's watching and they want to come on and just have a chit chat with their friends or their siblings or their mom, their dad, whoever,
Aunties
are welcome.
Aunties and uncles.
Aunties, uncles, whoever you want to bring, you're more than welcome to. And thank you for coming all this way to be on Budna Banter.
We loved it.
Thank you.
Loved it. Thank you for having us.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Cut.
Cut.